welcome back.
You're my best friend, and I love you.
I love you.
we haven't talked in 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's been about 3 weeks.
Like your beard. I'm glad you were able to grow that in 2 days.
Yeah. I know you been doing a bit of traveling, I assume.
Mm-hmm. I went to Mecca.
Yeah. Actually, he had to go report back to jail. It was. I told you, an elementary school is still.
No, I was visiting with my jail husband.
Yeah, how was he?
He's good.
Good.
Glenn said hi.
Good. Yeah. I remember old.
No, sorry. Glenn said die. Sorry.
Either way, it all comes from the heart.
I want to be nicer to you. I was listening to one of the recent episodes that came out, and I was just being such a dick. Too far.
You were.
Sorry.
It's okay. It was still. I've been listening to a lot of every time we put them out, I listen to them,
mm-hmm.
and a lot of it is just really starting to crack me up. A lot.
Well, good.
So, I
because we're both 16-year-olds trapped inside the body of 17-year-olds.
Yes. But I don't want to talk about too much that cracked me up because it's part of
part of the listening experience
and part of the questions.
Oh yeah. Do you have some?
I have some.
We can get to them in a bit. But
yeah. I did. Yeah. We had enough time to come up with stuff now. So
I got a question for you.
Yes. No.
I didn't actually think of anything. What's the lead? Who's the guy behind Death Clock? Is it Brendan Small or Brandon Smalls?
I think it's Brendan Smalls.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce his name.
That's gonna come up later, but
okay.
he's super talented.
Mm-hmm.
I like him a lot. I really want to listen to his. He's had a couple things come out for the project Galactitron.
Yeah.
I really should listen to it. Especially now that I'm one of metal music's premier critics. I don't know. Never mind.
You are now. Yeah.
Shout out to Bewitcher.
Yeah.
Thank
you, Bewitcher.
Them, yeah.
And they're following our Instagram page.
Are they?
Yeah, I looked.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think they are. Double check.
What up, Bewitcher? You guys are fucking awesome.
Them and the Meatman, Tesco V. Shout out Tesco V.
He's following us? I thought he was just like, hey, what's up?
I think he's following us now.
Cool.
So I will make it a point, not every episode, but anytime I can mention Tesco V and the Meatmen, I'm going to.
Tesco V, anytime you want to come on the podcast and plug Jonathan in you feel free.
You're more than well. Only you, Tesco, and Glenn.
And open invite for Dave Mustaine to come and sit in. That was one of the more recent episodes.
Yes.
Super, super exciting.
That was, yeah. And I was actually re-listening to it. I was like, God, I was actually kind of easy on him. But water under the bridge. Not really. I still don't like him. Do you want to maybe discuss what plans we've got this fall? A certain rock and roll show we might.
I was like, what?
No, we're not getting married.
You and me are not planners, so that was odd. And I also still think fall is 5 months away, even though I know it's
next month.
Yeah. I was just like, wait, what? We don't think that far ahead.
I don't think past.
We barely think of. Yeah, I don't even know what episode we're on. Episode 20.
20. Double X. Me and my heterosexual life partner here, Brendan, are going to be venturing into the big city of Hot Atlanta. We're going to go see 3 little unknown local bands.
Yeah.
Actually, they're from this.
Shout out Lilac. No, just kidding.
Actually, they're from the small town of San Francisco, California, if you didn't know where San Francisco was. And
not San Francisco, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, not to be confused with San Francisco, Siberia. But it's a little group called Testament, another unknown band called Exodus, and some newcomers by the name of Death Angel are going to be playing a show at what is the New Masquerade. I'm curious as to what the New Masquerade is.
I think it's in underground Atlanta.
That's what I've heard.
Which is weird because that's super touristy.
Yeah, it is.
So touristy that even Georgians don't typically go there.
No, I've been to underground once.
Yeah. I feel like it used to be more like less touristy back when my parents were living there, which would have been like late 80s, early 90s. But since, I think it's become more of a like a Times Square kind of thing.
Yeah, it's very much so, but with more crime than Times Square. That is kind of a rough area.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, hopefully if everyone...
We get mugged by Gary Holt. That'd be sweet.
And we probably wouldn't even know the difference.
Yeah.
You're like, hey guys, I just need like $1. Like, get away from me.
Yeah.
Gary Holt?
What are you doing?
Well, I might have $1. Sorry, I'm also working. I'm like, where's my money?
Is your password 5678?
No. It's not 6, 7, 8.
Dude, your password is the count off that James Brown does. Get up.
Get on up. Okay. So that was all I had to say. I was a little worried you might have like the president on the phone or the Hair Club for Men president.
Donald Trump. Sorry, did you mean the real president? 'Cause he's still president. They're going to announce it April 20th.
Of
Has
next
that
year?
already happened?
Yeah.
Oh, well then. Yeah.
You know, he made America great again.
He did, and I'm glad. I feel like we're all doing much better now. It was a rocky start, but
I'm glad we got rid of COVID, right? Oh. Anyway, but hopefully COVID will get under control so they don't have to cancel the show that we're going to.
Yeah. There's a lot of memes coming out now about my fall plans and then the Delta variant. So one of them was my fall plans, and it was I'm not gonna be able to remember her name. OJ's wife.
Oh, and Nicole Brown.
Nicole Brown, and then over OJ it said the Delta variant. So the memes are spicy.
It's a dated joke, but it's still funny.
One thing that I discovered that I like doing last night.
Okay.
Is
Are we 10 minutes in yet? Okay.
Yeah, we're about 10 minutes in. is talking smack to all the bots that come. So that's purely because we do I always do the hashtag. I think it's hashtag podcast, hashtag music podcast, hashtag music. I do that. So we just get a overwhelming amount of bots. It's like 3 every time that were like promoted, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. So now I'm having fun. I'm going to do, anytime that comes up, if our following does grow and we get more and more, I'm going to do 3 responses to bots. Mm-hmm. And I'm just going to try to be as funny as possible. So if you do follow our Instagram page, make sure to check out the shit talking. And I actively encourage you guys to also shit talk the bots.
Please, or us. Click like and subscribe.
That's totally fun. Yeah.
LSDC Podcast on Instagram, Lemon Squeeze and Deep Cuts on YouTube, and obviously you know that already, or you're listening to the audio.
The audio.
Which is what I listen to, actually, is the audio version of our podcast. Because
that's funny because I watch the YouTube videos. It's probably because you watch the videos to edit, so that probably gets old.
Yeah.
So, and that's why, because I do the audio side, I want to see the stuff, because I don't get, when I'm listening, and I remember it pretty well, but I don't, it's nice to see the body language and
this cringy stuff that I don't edit well sometimes. I'm working on it. I'm getting better.
Dude, I like your edits.
Your video editor earns his pay.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I mean, so does your audio engineer. So it's good. No, I like it, and I like that.
Speaking of which, we have a Patreon, Lemon Squeeze and Deep Cuts on Patreon.
Yeah, we've done absolutely nothing with it.
We haven't set it up whatsoever.
I forgot. I don't think we even know the password anymore. We're gonna have to figure that out.
I'll have to look it up. It's probably something stupid like.
It's close to everything is. It's not the same password, but it's approximate.
Let's just get the password out on the show. That
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
No caps.
No caps. Oh yeah, and the special character is a swastika because that's your favorite.
Yeah. It's a really good image.
Brought that back around.
Very simple.
Like way earlier.
It's just the natural progression of things.
I discovered something that I enjoy doing, and I've just started doing it recently. Calling people out on Facebook for being.
Oh God!
I'm not going to mention any names or anything, but
I saw the screenshots.
For being. What's the word I'm looking for?
Tone deaf.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, I didn't even honestly, no pun intended, but it works really well here. Genuinely did not mean it the second way, but it's actually
That's awesome.
more apropos for the second the second way.
For being so privileged that you have no idea how the real world works.
Yeah.
And I don't ever do that. Like, I'd never do that. And
I was when you sent me the screenshot, I was shocked. I was like, this is damn. Yeah, so you must have been really fired up because you sent me the. All right, here's a basic outline. Somebody posted something really tone deaf via Facebook. You followed them. We're both aware of who they are.
Yes.
Big fans. And you then sent me the screenshot of your response to that.
Yes.
And goddamn, dude, because that was like in a soap opera when I've never watched a soap opera, but when Jeanette does something actually kind for somebody instead of just swearing at them in Spanish.
Yeah.
It's just very out of character for you.
It was just, this individual has done these kind of posts before where they are just so blind to the real world.
Can we just for reference? Okay, this one wasn't as bad, but can we? Did we talk about the Tom Petty one before?
Yeah,
we talked about it
before.
Sandy Hook. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So that's what we're working with here.
And I just it's like, you know what? I'd had just enough PBR flowing through the old bloodstream.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just like, you know what? Somebody's got to quit enabling idiocy. And I left that post or that comment up for about 16 hours, maybe a little less, and then I deleted it.
So the likelihood of him seeing it is
Well, there was no
high.
response. Like all of a sudden, all the responses to this person's post just stopped.
Well, and that's one thing that I was amazed by because even though it was clipped off, I saw some of the responses, and it was like, it was, I mean, also tone deaf, but as you say, enabling. Enabling is not the right word from them because they're not encouraging him. It was just like oblivious.
Yeah, oblivious.
It was
the word I was looking for earlier.
But I mean, people around him are for sure enabling him, and then these other people commenting were, not to get too deep into the social media sphere, but the fact that they're going along with what he's saying, is just. I mean, it'd be like if back when the Tom Petty Sandy Hook thing happened, or it was something like along those lines. People being like, "Yeah, it truly is sad." Like one of the saddest things I've heard about recently. It's like, hold on.
and this individual did get called out on that post years ago. Was
it by you?
No. I was just being a spectator at that point. I was just enjoying. I was just here for the comments. You know that meme. But this time it was just like, you know what? You have no idea how entitled you are. That's the word. How entitled you are, and just so stupid. Sorry.
Essentially, a hurricane is coming through, and somebody was worried about the weather
because it was going to
because they're going to vacay sort of near it.
Yeah, it was going to ruin their vacation, and I just
it's kind of like if you had plans to go to France. I think it was 2017 or something like that, and then your plans got ruined by the terrorism attacks, and you were like, "Wow, what a bummer! Can't go on vacation now."
Yeah, or like, I was going to go visit the Twin Towers on September 12th, 2001, but what a bummer! Now I can't go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like, I know it's a little extreme, but it's like
still though, it's just about being aware of things outside of yourself.
3,000 people.
And overall, I mean, obviously, I can't hold it against this person too much because of a lot of reasons.
Right.
But,
right.
And I'm glad you deleted the post because it was very out of character for you.
It was.
As you say, I honestly do think this person needed to hear that. I hope they saw it, and I hope that kind of helps with something.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like we're in an era of that, of just people being extremely self-centered, tone deaf, unempathetic, and I think it needs to change.
It does. People need to know what it's like to be in the real world.
I think it genuinely. I didn't realize this until recently, but I think for a lot of people, like a significant portion of the population, it is really hard for them to walk a mile in another person's shoes shoes, especially with city life. And we're not in a huge city here.
Right.
But I just realized how agitating city life is, and it's unfortunate.
Mm-hmm. And yeah. And this individual isn't like some millennial or, well, maybe he's a millennial, but they're not like a young person.
Mm-mm.
Okay. This is someone who's not much younger than me.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't really want to give it away. Of course, you guys won't know who we're talking about, and it's no big deal. But yeah, I actually felt a little bit of guilt when the next morning when I woke up, and I was like, okay.
That's one of those things I feel like that it's sort of like writing a letter and not sending it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you could have like written it out and then just like left it for a little bit and then seen if you wanted to send it.
I wanted it out there.
I definitely get where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and I wasn't like really nasty.
You didn't like tear into him or anything. You were just like, hey man, how about you shut the fuck up about your vacation while people are going to probably lose their houses and electricity.
Yeah.
And in some cases, maybe lives.
Yeah. Yeah. And I ended it with just, why don't you just shut up and enjoy your free ride?
Long road ain't an easy one, baby.
All right.
Another point of housekeeping. One thing I noticed about the audio in the earlier episodes is sometimes it's hard to balance when between the louds and the softs of when we're talking. How would you feel about moving to, now that I have 2 headphone outputs, to wearing headphones while we're doing this? Because I think that'll help us naturally balance the audio just by us talking and being able to hear each other leveled the same.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't wear your stupid hats, but that's probably for the best. I thought I was going to be nice to you as well. Sorry. No, just kidding.
I'm glad you're not on Facebook, sir.
Yeah. Wait, what's on Facebook?
That's where I attack people.
Oh, okay. So, thank God. I log on to Facebook. I check the Savannah Chess group page.
Nerd.
And then I log off. That's
nerd.
I've been trying to get them to branch out to Instagram for so long. I keep telling people, I was like, you realize that Facebook is one of the most inferior ways of communication that we have available to us.
Yeah, it's just for like people like my generation and older.
Yeah.
I only use it to plug this podcast now. That's all I use Facebook for now, is just to plug this podcast.
Instagram game's really up there now.
Oh my God.
No, I do. I'm glad. That is something I was going to say, is I'm glad with the time off that we took, I was glad you were able to get back to the ghost hunting and stuff. Because I know I know you have a really busy job, and I know that this takes a significant amount of effort and stuff. So I'm glad you're able to get back and do that and talk to your only friends, which are, of course, dead people.
They're dead people. But yeah, I've
nobody
enjoyed
alive
it.
would be foolish enough to be your friend.
Well,
zing.
Well, I would say I missed you.
I would say it too, but I
don't want to lie to you.
I haven't missed myself either. It's good to be talking to you again, buddy. I missed this. This was fun. Sorry, Jeremy.
I feel like you never left. Yeah, would you quit knocking Jeremy over?
I'm sorry.
And the other thing is weather has been. It's finally quit raining every single day.
Was it bad while I was gone?
It just like it's been when you were here. It is literally rained every day this summer, except maybe like 2 or 3 days. Some good news, because Trish doesn't know how to use Instagram, even though she has one. She went and bought herself a brand new bicycle, and she's so cool. It finally one that's her size. You know, it's got training wheels, but
It's the size of. Do you remember mini bikes when those came out? Those were big in like the mid 2000s.
Yeah,
it's like the size of that.
It's smaller because she's only this tall. But yeah, so she finally got to break it in, and I built it for her. She ordered it from an awesome place, citygrounds.com. Good place to get bikes. Cheap plug. And so we finally go right down to chain grocery store on Gwinnett Street. No cheap plug for Kroger. But anyway.
Don't at me.
At GwinnettStreetKroger.com.
That's crack Kroger.
Yeah. But anyway, so we get on the bikes, and as soon as we get about maybe a football field's length, or no, a half a football field's length from the house.
So 50 yards?
Yeah. A soccer field length. So half a soccer field length is what, about half a mile?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I was
Watching that game, I can't tell. I'm like, is this 200 yards or is this 5,000 yards?
But anyway, it starts pouring down rain, and it rained on us all the way to Kroger,
Sorry, meters. Anyway, go.
and it rained on us all the way back from Kroger.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, great. I said, well, now you know if you can ride this bike in the pouring down rain twice, then
Sounds like a country song.
I was going somewhere with the story, but to be honest with you, I really wasn't going anywhere with the story. Good night, guys. It's been fun. 20 episodes. We're done. I'm going back to the home. But yeah.
The home?
The old folks' home.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was making sure you knew what you said.
Yeah.
All right, Grandpa, time for your nap.
Yay.
Take your shit pills.
I don't need them.
Got this fanny pack for that now.
My colostomy fanny pack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are great. Yeah. All right. Over to you, Chuck.
Back to you, Bob. Do you want to do the questions?
Yeah. I got, is 5 good enough?
Yeah.
Okay. I might have to refer to my notes.
That's okay. I'm going to have to, because we had so much to talk about this week. I've got stuff up too.
Yeah, I have to look at other things, and mostly I'm playing Candy Crush. I'm trying to beat this level. So when you're talking, you don't mind if I just kind of glaze over and...
Mm-mm.
Okay.
As long as I can play Pussy Crush.
Okay.
It's just one button. It's pretty easy.
Oh, okay. I heard it doesn't take you long to play that.
No, not a lot of moves.
A lot of crying.
Haven't unlocked a lot of moves. Still working on it.
I got some videos you can borrow.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, they're carpentry videos. I don't know what they're going to help you with, but at least you can build a bookcase.
Yeah.
So
Jesus videos.
yeah.
Hey, I'm Jesus. Welcome back to Carpentry 101. Like, comment, subscribe.
Leads us into your first question.
Okay.
Speaking of Jesus and our good pal Dennis,
Yeah.
what was
Not his name, by the way,
what
but
was
anyway.
Dennis's real name?
Fuck.
Because when I rewatched it, and I'm not going to tell you the answer, it was so funny because you asked him his name twice, and when you remember what his name is, you're going to kick yourself for not remembering what his name is. What is Dennis's real name? Comment in the comment section below, subscribe, click, ring the bell.
Now you're just saying things. Complain about your vacation in Florida, and
If
give us a thumbs up.
yeah,
And
thumbs up.
give Hurricane Irma a thumbs down.
All right. So Dennis, aka real name,
I don't know, Bruce. Am I close? What does it start with?
a B
Oh shit.
and an R.
Biden.
Yeah, it was Joe Biden.
All right, sweet. Hey man,
Hey guys,
come on,
come on.
come on, man. Brian.
Nope.
Shit.
I'll give you one more.
Yeah, that's fair. Brad?
No.
Fuck, all right, what is it?
You're going to kick yourself.
I'm not.
Brenton is his name.
I wouldn't have ever gotten that.
It's literally a letter away from your name.
It's more than a letter away.
Well, and
How do you spell my name?
and phonetically, it's a letter away.
What?
Yeah, Brenton.
Okay, phonetics doesn't involve letters, just so you know. It involves sounds.
It's close to your name.
Eh.
Like if I'd forgotten his name and you were like, well, his name was John, I'd be like, well, now I feel stupid.
Right. But also, it would be like I was like, it's a letter away from your name, and his name was Fronafron. It's so close. It's not.
So close. His name was Carlos.
Can we still call him Dennis?
Yes, he's always going to be Dennis. But yeah. So
Dennis,
yeah.
Dennis the Genesis.
And what was
The stretch.
hilarious was as soon as you got off the phone with him, you immediately called him Dennis.
Oh yeah.
Quick. Like you had already forgotten his name, and I'd already forgotten his name.
Yeah.
And you just hung up with him.
What episode was that?
That was 13.
Oh, okay.
Episode 13, yeah.
Because I think
Hilarious.
because I released them 2 at a time, I think I just defaulted to listening to the
14.
4. Yeah, I kind of did like 12 and then 14. So. Yeah, we're gonna release 2 a week
Mm-hmm.
for a couple weeks, and then we'll be all caught up.
Mm-hmm.
And then this'll be out soon. This will be out within a month.
Yeah, or less.
Yeah,
We'll see.
30 minutes or less.
Yeah. But yeah. I was having a little lag problem. Apparently, my internet connection was not really good, but we also had a lot of people pulling off our internet.
Like that guy on the front porch. Your password shouldn't be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A bump, 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 bump.
All right, second question.
Speaking of pizza, your body. Anyway, just sorry.
This was actually something we just discussed.
The bit best.
Sorry, I was having a stroke.
Yeah.
We discussed the last time we met, because I was telling you I'd had all of my in-laws in town.
Okay.
A few weeks ago, which I enjoyed. What career did I convince my 5-year-old niece I had? What did I tell her I was?
All right, ninja isn't really a career.
It is in my brain.
No,
You got one right.
Yeah.
All right.
Ninja Jonathan.
Uncle Ninja
Uncle Ninja.
is what she calls me. Awesome.
Does she have good pronunciation?
Yeah.
That's good, because that could be problematic. All right. New occupation for Uncle Jonathan.
Yeah, she has good pronunciation.
Kind of like the Cleveland Indians bit we were doing. I do like the idea of that, of like problematic sports team names, not realizing that they just came up with a more racist title.
Yeah. We unfortunately had to touch on Miss Avril Lavigne recently. You made me listen to Skater Boy.
I said, see you later, boy.
Yep.
When I went to Wisconsin.
Do you
Then
remember who she was married to for a short period of time, who was also a washed out, boring musician? Sometimes we talk about this person.
it's not Aaron Lewis.
Nope.
It's not Fred Durst.
Nope.
It's Johnny Five. I don't think we've ever talked about Johnny Five.
The robot from Short Circuit?
No, isn't Johnny Five the guitarist for Marilyn Manson?
Oh, John Five.
John Five, sorry. I'm thinking Johnny Four Hooves.
It's Robbie Four-Hooves.
Johnny Five Fingers.
Give up.
No. Creedence Clearwater.
That's a band.
Sorry, Creedence Clearwater Revival.
That's a band, and she was not married to the entire band. One of the guys.
She could have been.
One of the guys has been dead for a while, so that would be weird.
Who's been dead?
Tom Fogerty.
Oh, and John's still alive?
Yeah.
Okay.
John's still making music.
Shitty music. It all sounds the same.
Well, I mean,
Speaking of this band, no, just kidding.
speaking of this band,
Yeah. What?
you just gave yourself a clue on who this cat is that was married to Avril Lavigne. All of his music sounds the same. He's in a band now. He's not a solo artist. Thank God.
But he was a solo artist.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Fuck, man. What instruments did he play?
The guitar and the vocals. He sings and plays guitar.
Bob Dylan. That's my 3.
Chad Kroeger.
Oh yeah, I remember. Sorry. I didn't know Chad Kroeger played the guitar.
He straps.
I thought he just ran concentration camps.
and gets hit with rocks. Thank you, Portugal.
I honestly sorry about that. That sucks.
Yeah, that does.
For anybody who performs, that sucks.
Yeah. Well, at least it didn't drop his pick twice. But anyway, we're moving back around.
Is that my pick again?
I think that was really all I had. I forgot the other 2 questions. 3 questions is good.
We got to do 5.
You want to do 5?
Johnny
Okay.
5.
All right.
Yeah,
All
you
right,
can look them up. It's fine.
Yeah. Let me.
Here, I'll entertain the people.
You gonna do leave?
Yeah. I'm gonna sexually assault someone.
Okay. Oh yeah. I forgot. There was one. There was another one. One individual I made you review, and you didn't particularly care for this song, but I quoted as saying he was my second favorite singer-songwriter.
Oh, Mark Lanigan.
All right.
Did I pronounce it right?
Yeah, you pronounced it perfectly.
Swing pendulum.
Oh, I wanted to
The whole time you're like, he has better music, and I was just like,
He does.
why didn't you pitch it?
because it's called Deep Cuts.
No, I understand that, but doesn't he have good deep cuts?
Yes, but it was. We're not having this fight again.
All right. Sorry, Jeremy.
Jeremy fell from
you know
the
what?
table again.
What's in frame? Is this in frame? That's probably not in frame.
Not very well.
Let me check it.
Oh. All I can see is your
that's not in
face.
frame at all.
Your face is in frame. Jeremy.
I'm like an old guy trying to work Facebook.
Oh, yeah. And this is something we discussed on the podcast.
This is number 5.
This is number 5.
Have I gotten any right?
You got one.
I got one right?
You got 2 right.
Oh, okay. That's good. 2 for 2.
We discussed
4.
this,
Yeah.
and we even asked this question. What is the name of the guy who does bingo at Moot Rights?
Fuck. Do I get 3 guesses again?
You get 3 guesses.
Son of a
If
bitch.
you say Chad Kroger, I'm going to hit you with this candle.
Is it Dennis? No, I'm just kidding. Nick?
No.
Fuck. I'm so sorry to that guy. Chris? You don't even fucking... Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's Chris.
All right, cool.
Sorry, I went blank for a minute.
Yeah.
Yes, it's Chris.
Yes.
All right.
I have not been back to bingo because of catching the vid.
Yeah, we haven't been back. We haven't been out at all because it just keeps coming back around.
Yep.
And a lot of the same people hang out in the same places, and we're like, yeah, we're going to take a break.
Yep.
So we haven't been out at all.
Yeah.
So
I feel like, yeah, Moody's just gets super packed. Love it. Can't wait to go back.
Yeah.
People are just so on top of each other there. I mean, those bingo nights get fucking crowded.
Yeah.
Which is awesome, obviously, because
Yeah.
people are making money, and that's cool. But I still feel comfortable going to my comedy shows and stuff because nobody shows up, so it's fine.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because you're on the bill. Yeah, I mean, me and
Hey,
Trish.
other untalented people are on the bill too.
Yeah. Well, like we've discovered, and I don't want to give away our secret, but we've discovered popping down to Sorry Charlie's like right after lunch, maybe like 3-4 o'clock. Catch happy hour.
Is this another question?
No, this is what we're doing now. Sorry Charlie's.
Yeah, it was in Legend of Bagger Vance. Sorry, what is Legend of Bagger Vance, Alex?
Thank you.
You like it down there? Well, y'all got bikes now.
Yeah. Well, I've had a bike, but she's got, yeah. We like it down there. So we'll just bike down there, get a couple dozen oysters.
I hate their fucking prices. It's so dumb.
That's why you go on happy hour.
How much are they?
They're like a buck an oyster. I mean, it's in the middle of the city market. You think it's going to be any cheaper?
It's actually not in City Market. It's on the other side of Ellis Square from City Market.
But it's still considered city market.
No, it isn't. City Market starts at Barnard and goes west.
It is literally
East is Paula Deen territory. What's that shadowy part over there? That's Paula Deen's territory. We don't go
We
there.
don't go there. Stinks.
Smells like fish, and not because of Sorry Charlie's.
Freaks of elderberries.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, I don't know. I like the spots like with local seafood where you can get 100 oysters for like $4.
Well, it's hard to get to those places on our bicycles.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
I mean, I wish Russo's restaurant would open back up.
They've been closed?
The restaurant part has been closed.
Oh, yeah. Why is the market open then? That's more tight.
I know.
What the fuck?
I know, right? But, yeah. Oh, Tubby's and Thunderbolt closed.
That's weird. My cousin was the GM for that. Thought I'd hear about that. I don't hear about shit in my family. People get cancer, and then we find out after they're dead. It's like, oh, okay, well.
It closed because lack of staff. People weren't coming back to work.
That sucks, man.
So
And that's something that Sam and I were talking about. We've had a couple of experiences recently where service has been less than ideal.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my problem with it. I understand you're having staffing issues. Your prices need to come down.
Yeah.
Because I'm not one to pay the prices that you were asking for before with subpar service. And I'm understand you're hurting now, but that's not my problem. And I'm very adamant about paying a fair price for things based on the service provided. You know, we went to a restaurant last night, not to name names. We sat there for 20 minutes without water.
Oh no.
And like Sam was very excited about specific menu items at this place, so I was trying to be understanding, but I was pissed. I went in and she talked to the hostess. Sat there for another 5 minutes, and then I went in and I was like, look, we've been here for 20 minutes and nobody has come out.
Yeah.
Get on it. And I don't like being like that, but at that point, I'm not being a Karen. You do that after 2 minutes, you're a Karen.
Right, but 20 minutes and no water, that's, I get it. Come around, get my drink order, at least acknowledge that I'm here. If you're busy, I can understand that.
Yeah, if you give me water and then it's like, also I went inside, they were at a quarter capacity. Ridiculous, like unacceptable.
I mean, if I see the waitress running around and they're busy, I'm like, but if
you got a full section, I got you.
But if this restaurant's empty and I keep seeing her stepping out back, grabbing a smoke, well, smoke that tip up because it's over.
Yeah. And smoke this tip. Anyway, fuck a bitch. Anyway, I saw a sign recently. The marquee at McDonald's said, "Earn up to $1 a minute." If you can't find a job right now, you're an idiot.
Yeah, they're out there.
Because not only can you get pretty much any job you go for because they just need staffing, you can get paid more than anyone ever has in the history of that job being available. Yeah. It is unreal. I keep seeing the sign at this restaurant. They're offering a sign-on bonus if you stay for a specific amount of time. And it's risen by $100 every month because of the staffing issue. Wow. I don't understand how people are still out of work. I don't know if the unemployment is still going. I know the CARE Act isn't, like, you're not making that extra $600 or $400 or whatever it is.
No.
But
I don't know how you're still getting the unemployment though.
I was listening to an economist talk about it because I was confused. I was like, okay, but now people are. I understood it at the time when it's like people are making more money than they ever had. Yeah. And they're not working. Yeah. So computes in my brain, but now people are still not going and getting jobs. And this guy was like, you have to understand that even though they may be taking a pay cut, that money may be it may be still worth it to them because they're not having to work. Right. I was like, that makes sense. So, like, would you rather be getting paid what you were used to making and going to work, or making, 3/4 of it or a half just to sit at home and play Xbox all day? And I was like, oh, that's the issue. Also, it was apparently after the 2008 financial crash that the Obama administration extended unemployment benefit length for the longest it had ever been extended. I know I'm not explaining that in an articulate fashion, but that is apparently getting extended more and more and more. Because typically before this, with unemployment benefits, you had to prove that you were going and seeking jobs. You know what I mean? So you had to, like, I went to this spot and I applied for this position on this day, and I think you had to do like 3 a week or something. It wasn't free money. Like, you had to actively seek work. Yeah. And they would follow up. They would check. And if you lied, you're off the So, and apparently that's just not the case.
No, because of COVID.
And I get it.
It's gone too far now. I mean, we've reopened as a country. Sure. So you can go out and look for a job, and that they're out there.
Here's my thing. It's like, you don't want to work. I get it. Businesses, you have staffing issues. That's fine. Your prices need to come the fuck down because you do not have the same level of service that you had. If I go in, for example, if I go in to get an oil change and it used to, I pay this much, like, let's say it's not this much, but $50 for an oil change, and it would take an hour. If I'm waiting 2 days for an oil change and it's still $50, I'm not paying that. No.
No, it's
It's
ridiculous.
ridiculous. Yeah, it's insane.
If I can get the same service at McDonald's as I get at a highbrow bougie restaurant in town, I'd rather just go to McDonald's.
I've had this problem.
You know what I mean?
I've had this problem for a couple years now with like self-checkout lines in grocery stores. I hate how that's the convenient option.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, I'm the best employee that whatever grocery store has.
Yeah.
Like, I can check me out faster than your cashiers can check me out. This is insane.
Yeah.
Like, you should be getting a discount for using the self-checkout line.
Yeah, you should.
Because
I use a self-checkout line.
You have 15 checkout stations.
Mm-hmm.
Why is there only one open at the busiest time? That's been the case for years now, and it's just getting worse.
They don't want to pay. They don't want to pay people to stand there and not have someone in their line.
I get it.
But it's like,
give me a discount.
But there's me and Trish were actually talking about this. Speaking of grocery stores,
Such an angry start to this.
I know, right?
Thanks, Dennis. You fuck. Anyway,
and then we'll get off topic. But one of the jobs I had when I was in high school was a bag boy for Kroger.
Bag boy.
Do you know what that job even is?
Pixie song.
Okay.
I didn't know you were in the Pixies. No. You were the guy at the grocery store that put the items in a specific order as to not fuck up bread and eggs, which has happened 3 fucking times during this pandemic.
We actually got trained on how to bag the groceries.
Yeah.
And we would carry them to your car and load them in your car for you.
Aww.
That's what, and it paid more than minimum wage.
Yeah.
Which, I'm sorry, I know minimum wage is low, but I've only had one job my entire life where I made minimum wage, and that was my first job.
And as of right now, any job you want is paying more than minimum wage.
Yeah.
And if it is paying minimum wage, there's about 1,000 other jobs that are not paying minimum wage.
Yes.
Paying more.
Kids, when I started working, my first job, I made minimum wage. Minimum wage was $4.25.
Mm-hmm.
That was what minimum wage was in 1992. Was $4.25.
It's almost $5.
Almost.
You can buy a Corvette in a couple weeks.
But you would sit there, and we would, like, Saturdays, and they'd have probably like 10. We were courtesy clerks is what our title was. Like 10 of us lined up, and trust me, on a Saturday there were at least 10 registers open, and those self-checkouts didn't exist. That wasn't even a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone would work Saturday, and you get there, and we'd be lined up. We'd bag up them groceries, put it on our cart, take it out there, and you'd come, like, in the day, I mean, you had a wad of cash. I mean, you made good money. Because people would tip. Sometimes it was usually just like a quarter or 50 cents. Sometimes they'd give you $1. Sometimes they'd give you $5 if you carried enough stuff out for them.
Yeah.
So, you at least got, a quarter, which, back in that day, a quarter. But you get 50 people give you a quarter. Well, your pockets are heavy, but plus you were making, I think I was making like $5 an hour, which was 75 cents above minimum wage in 1990. That was 1993. So it wasn't bad money. And they've completely eliminated that job at all grocery stores.
Yep.
You take your own groceries out now.
Yeah. Or you give a crackhead $1.
Yeah. And you get half your groceries.
He'll sneeze on your celery, but hey, man.
Yeah.
You get what you pay for.
But it's like, what happened to that job? That was the job that everyone wanted in high school.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. In rant. But yeah.
In rant, but just to kind of just follow up on a couple of things just to get the anger out. Like I'm very much pro talking about things and sort of seeing them from different sides. I feel like we're living in an era where people are trying to nail down these absolutes, and it just doesn't make sense to me. You're afraid of going to work because of COVID. I get it. I understand. But I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going with that. I'm just really tired of a lot of things. I'm tired of not being on vacation in Wisconsin. This has been a rough week.
I'm sorry.
It sucks.
I'm sorry you had to end your vacation and come back to the real world.
Dude, having so much white male privilege in Wisconsin is awesome.
Well, that's all that's in Wisconsin is just
white male privilege.
White male privilege. Even the animals are white.
Shout out to the Kenosha shooter. Hey, man.
Ouch.
What's the new there's this new stupid things the kids say. It's called I Stan. So essentially, you're saying I stand. You're removing the D because I don't know.
That's how lazy they are?
I don't know. Maybe the D is like a leftover of colonialization or something. So I can't call you a dickhead. I just call you an ickhead. No, ick, hey.
Yeah.
See how retarded times are now? I'm over it. But anyway, I stand with the Kenosha shooter.
That would be retar a.
Please, on a recent episode, I defended Hitler.
We also went on a racist rant.
I defended Hitler's art.
You did.
I stand by that rant.
You stand?
I stand with Hitler. Here's how I'm going to stand with the Kenosha shooter. I think he's a real catch.
Okay.
I don't know how to compliment my girlfriend. Sorry, my fiance. So she sent me this picture of her when she was like 17. And she's like, look how cute I was. And I was like, I totally would have molested you. I don't know how to compliment people anymore. Everything's a problem for people in my position.
Yes.
I'm just, you know what? When I die, I'll die the way I lived. A nuisance to society.
Perfect.
Shout out Simpsons. Let's get on to the important stuff.
Yeah. I've got this fungus.
Gay marriage. Here we go.
I've got this fungus on my toes. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, you spread it to my dick. Thanks.
You're welcome.
We are going to celebrate this podcast.
Yes.
By you doing mine after this.
Yes.
Which is exciting because that'll come out today or tomorrow, depending on when my Facebook rant ends. I stand with Hitler. And but yeah, I'm excited. It's to end that shit show on a positive note.
Uh-huh.
It's exciting to be back with you, buddy.
It is. It is.
It's so good to talk to you.
Yeah.
For those of you who didn't know, we haven't talked in 3 weeks. Starting the podcast was the first time we talked. On the way over here, I played some great music. Got us right back to where we were. Put us in podcast mode. I think I've said it before, but it's unfortunate that it's sort of like finding a kink that you didn't know you had, and now that's the only way you can come. Is the only way I can do this podcast is by listening to this horrible music.
Yes.
And it's just it's like a toe fungus. You just get used to.
Yeah.
You can't get rid of it because you just
even when you chew on it. Well, you're in luck. There'll be more music from this.
Right after that Florida vacation. Let's go.
You want to flip the old coiny coin? Or
I'm driving through Florida just yesterday, and a hurricane blew me the fuck away. Hey, look at that. So wait. Does this mean this means we start with your picks, right?
Yeah.
So I talk about here's how I was thinking about. So just to give everybody the structure, because I'm in a manic episode. Jonathan gave me 3 albums by one band. I gave Jonathan, that's me, by 3 albums by another band. And we're going to talk about them. And much like the metal episode, Jeremy, we are going to pick our favorite songs off of those albums. And then with our favorite albums, we're going to pick 2.
So that's what I thought you said. I'll pick 2 off of the ones I gave you.
We'll do that after we talk about them. So basically, how it works is, what we can do is we'll go through the albums in order. We'll swap.
Good.
Basically, the first one we're going to start with is Reroute to Remain, and then we'll go to my first pick for you. So I'll do my favorite song on Reroute. You'll do your favorite song on Reroute. We'll go
perfect.
So basically, the person who was digesting the album primarily gets first dibs on the favorite song.
Perfect.
And then at the end, we'll go back. We'll list our favorite album, and we'll have picked 2 from that each.
Perfect.
So your band you showed me was the Miley Cyrus Experience. Here we go now. My favorite song was Unemployment's Lines Be Crazy, Yo. And
dude, that's a jam.
Didn't I fuck that up? Because I already said the album. So the band is In Flames.
Yes.
And they are a Swedish melodic death metal band.
Yes.
And I didn't like any of it. Sorry.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. It was really interesting listening to this album. So this album came out. So Reroute to Remain came out in 2002.
Yes.
Which is awesome because I think that American music in this time was like popular music was really not so good.
Exactly.
Popular music. But European music at this time was fucking banging. Because one of my favorite albums of all time came out in 2002 by a British man by the name of Stephen Wilson, Project Porcupine Tree in Absentia, which I just bought on vinyl. It cost me $40, but...
White people privilege.
Fuck yeah.
Steve Wilson.
Yeah,
Steve Wilson.
Yeah.
I know who he is.
Yeah. You like Porcupine Tree? Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not, because it's good music. Anyway, Anyway, so 2002 was a really good time for European music.
Yes.
Not so good
for Americans.
Hang on, wait, let me look up what the most popular album in 2002. Most popular album in U.S. in 2002. Yeah, The Eminem Show.
See.
And Nellyville by Nelly.
And
Home, The Chicks, A New Day Has Come, Celine Dion.
It was actually the Dixie Chicks, but they've already changed. They took the Dixie off.
Oh,
now.
that makes sense.
But then it was called the Dixie Chicks because God forbid you use the word Dixie in your name. Automatically makes you a racist.
They just call them, going off of the naming it more racist and not understanding why they call themselves the Slaver Chicks. What? I'm actually trying to look for Believe by Disturbed. Nice.
God, yeah, see, that's the thing. American.
Come Away With Me, Norah Jones. Okay. We've got a winner.
All right, well, yeah, we'll give her that. We'll give them that. But yeah, American heavy metal was garbage. It was all new metal. It was Disturbed and Stained and
Yoshimi Battles the Pink Robots, Flaming Lips. I forgot. I like that album. Go ahead.
Oh no, but yeah, that was a time, and a lot of great European metal came out during that time. It was almost like, all right, the Americans, we gave you guys metal 30, 40 years ago, and you've ruined it.
Yeah.
So it's time for us to
take the power back.
And you got bands from Sweden like In Flames. You've got bands from, oh God, I had a whole list of them last night.
Doesn't it suck? As soon as the red button comes on, you're like, oh yeah, I forgot I'm brain dead.
I'm like Cindy Brady in that episode of the Brady Bunch where she was on the quiz show. And as soon as the red light came on the camera, she just zoned out. The Brady Bunch.
Might I make a more topical reference? It's like when my dog gets an erection and the red penis comes out and I just stare at... No, sorry.
I thought you murdered your dog.
I have a girl dog. Oh. I did kill my dog.
I know. We
killed the shit out of my dog.
We just recently released that one.
Yeah.
I put Rip Voodoo.
I miss Voodoo.
I poured a little...
I had a dream about her the other night. It was sad. It's always fucked up when you have those dead dog dreams because you're like, in the dream you fucked something up.
Mm-hmm.
I think the thing was like I had forgotten to feed her for like 4 weeks or some shit. So there's a lot of guilt there.
Yeah.
I'm going to go talk about it with my therapist about my trauma. Sorry.
Oh, I was just doing that.
You haven't showed me a band from Sweden that I haven't liked. Wait, was the Fishheads guys Swedish? Just to cover my bases.
No, they're
okay,
not.
all right. Because, this could have been a question. So, oh my God, I just thought of a whole, like if Dirty Rig had to change their name.
I got you.
But no, the Helicopters and Backyard Babies. Really liked those. That was Drool and Carry Me Home.
Yep,
they're Swedish.
They are Swedish.
Any other Swedes? I feel like there was one.
Because I love a lot of Swedish, like hard rock and
It's
metal.
really good. I think it's
is.
because they're all suicidal.
Yeah.
And that makes really good music. Unless you're that, who was that first like black metal band where the dude would like actually
Mayhem.
thought he was a corpse?
Mayhem.
Mayhem? Yeah.
Mayhem has done a lot of horrible things.
Scary. You told me the backstory for some of
Yeah.
those things. That's terrifying.
I was watching something yesterday, and I forgot that this has happened at a Mayhem show in like the past 15 years. What they do is they like to gut sheep corpses on stage and throw the body parts in the audience. No, I'm not making this up either.
That's distasteful.
Well, someone had gotten injured when they threw the sheep's head in the audience and hit someone in the head.
Yeah, that'll happen.
And they actually had to go to the emergency room, and yeah, they had a fractured skull and a fractured, I think, jaw. The worst part is when you get the emergency room, they're like, "So how did you sustain this injury, sir?"
Meh. That's all you can say.
I was at a show and a sheep head hit me.
Yeah.
No, really. How did this happen?
Yeah.
Oh, you were at a Mayhem show. Never mind.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Get
yeah,
in
yeah.
here,
So,
you
We've had 4 this week. Anyway.
you rapscallion, you get in here.
No, that sucks. That's
Yeah.
I mean, there's obviously good and bads to everything.
But
I like a lot of Nordic music. Apparently,
yeah. Well, it's
I really like the
maybe
Norwegians because
Scandinavian.
the Scandinavian's a good way of putting because they're like it's cool because they sort of have this dichotomy going on where they're like folk music's really popular and so is metal, and I'm like, oh, this is like somewhere I could go live.
Yeah, I would love to
This
live
is
out
really
there.
because everything in between's pretty good too.
Yeah, I would love to live in like Sweden, Finland.
We always talk about moving somewhere.
Yeah, why don't we? Let's run away together. Like Thelma and
This
Louise.
magic moment.
We'll be like Thelma and Louise. We'll pick up a young Brad
I was
Pitt.
trying to make a Selma joke because that's super topical. But oh my god, I can't get over that dirty rig joke. It's so bad. It's so bad. Anyway,
In Flames.
I really liked this album.
Yeah.
Not to give too much away too early. I immediately gravitated towards the music. I'll give my summation after we go through the 3 albums, but I really, in particular, liked this album. It was a very good foot forward, and if I'm not mistaken, we both gave each of the album pitches were in chronological order. I think that helps out a lot, especially sort of seeing how the musicians, the artists, the creators progress musically. But this is a very interesting band. One of my favorite things about listening to the music overall was that I heard so many I was just thinking about bands that I've heard before I heard In Flames that are clearly inspired by In Flames music, which is cool because it was a lot.
Yeah.
Like, and it's the like a wide array of music. I mean, that's what I was asking about Brendan Smalls. Or Brendan Small, sorry. A lot of Death Clock music, very clearly In Flames inspired, especially with a lot of like the neoclassical sort of guitar stylings.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
As all the way down to like Korn with that like more drop tuning kind of like chugging rhythms, like syncopations and stuff, very influenced by In Flames. So,
Oh yeah.
very cool band. Liked it a lot. Very cool album. We'll talk about this album. I genuinely liked the flow, and this seemed more tightly conceptual. I feel like the other 2 albums were still conceptual, but this was
closer to
yeah. Obviously, it's not a conceptual album in the way that like I don't know, like a Thank You Scientist album would be, where there's actually like a story driven plot. Like I can't remember if it's The Deer Hunter or Deer Hunter. They have this album that is entirely about a soldier in World War One. Sorry, I can't recall it off the top of my head, but that's a very tight concept album. But this is like still, even though it's a little bit looser, it's very thematic.
It is.
That's the word I was looking for.
And
I liked it. I like the flow of it a lot.
Up until, and it might have been right around this time, maybe I'm a little bit off on my dates, but the lead singer Anders Frieden. If I misspelled it, I apologize.
Hagen Hergen.
But he writes the lyrics, the bulk of the lyrics, and for a while he would write the lyrics in his native Swedish, and he'd have someone else translate them for him, and then he would sing in English.
Phonetically?
He hadn't learned how to write in English yet. He's very fluent in English now.
Did he speak it at the time, or did he learn it phonetically?
I'm not real sure. I think maybe he just couldn't write in English.
That's a story behind a big hit.
We talked about it before, and I'm trying to remember which one it is.
I can't fight this feeling.
Yeah.
Hooked on a Feeling.
Yeah, Hooked on a Feeling. Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, the dudes just completely learned the song phonetically. Like, I have no idea. But I'm always very impressed by European, especially non-English speaking Europeans' ability to learn and speak and write in English. And there's always something really cool about ESL people writing in English. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's just like they have this completely different take on the language.
Well, yeah. And it's like, it's so sad that like in this country, like we just expect everyone to speak English instead of maybe learning another language.
Yeah.
When in every other country, just about in the world, they learn more than one language.
It's what you get when you fucking ball out hard like this, man.
Yeah, how are we doing with that?
I mean, fucking, we can't even agree that we're great anymore. Do you know that exercise is a form of white supremacy now?
Really?
So you're doing great.
I've been exercising.
Have you?
Yeah. Easy. You were going to be nice to me.
Speeding Hot Pockets is not an exercise.
I don't like Hot Pockets. They're gross.
No, I'm just teasing. Math is a form of white supremacy, so that's cool.
Well, Hitler and math they loved each other.
Hitler was, here's the thing about Hitler. Hitler was actually an exceptional math student. People want to talk shit. No, I don't know how fucking. I think he was bad at math.
I heard he could.
No, that was
juggle.
Albert Einstein. Getting my Germans mixed up, even though Hitler was Austrian.
Yes, and Einstein and Hitler would have never hung out with each other. Hitler kind of had this camp for Einstein because he's.
I heard they had nice pools at Auschwitz. Apparently, that was like there was this documentary I was watching.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, tune in next week when I reveal what the Dirty Rigs joke was. Anyway,
If you getting figured out by now,
yeah, he might be. You might be a retard if you complain about your Florida vacation while people losing their homes. And canceled. Anyway, so what was
I should quit tagging him in our videos.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Suck on this four strings. Somebody's gonna put the pieces together at some point.
probably halfway through this episode.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. So, saying something. Any hoodles. I liked it. I liked the album. Tell me about it. Tell me about this band for you.
I don't know anything about these guys. I literally pulled them out of my head.
I got a T-shirt one time, and I was like, "Hey, I'll show this band to Brennan."
I was at Hot Topic, and no, I'd heard of In Flames. They've been around since about '95, and I'd heard of In Flames, and I was familiar with some of their music, but I never really got into them until I saw them live. And actually, it was in 2008. They were on the same bill as Children of Bodom.
Cool.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the headlining band was this little band called Megadeth, and it was Megadeth's tour. And In Flames, Children of Bodom, and
is Children of Bodom American? I've never learned their country of origin.
They're Finnish.
Finnish, yeah, okay.
And
that makes a lot of fucking sense.
And High on Fire was there.
Ooh,
Yeah.
They're American. That's Matt Pike.
Matt Pike.
Big old mushroom dick.
That was a joke you made.
Yeah. My buddy. I don't know if I gave credit for it, but my buddy, while we were talking about High on Fire, made a joke about that. he likes boys and girls, and I don't know what he wants.
That's
to be
acceptable now.
No, I'm fucking nothing about it. I was just saying, but he was like, we were joking about it, and he's like, I just picture Matt Pike just having a big old hog of a mushroom dick, like with the head like 3 times the size of the shaft. Because he's a big old fat guy.
I can't picture Matt Pike wearing a shirt because he never wears a shirt.
Never wears a shirt. They had that album that was like one song.
That was Sleep.
Sleep. Oh no. So okay, but
he was also in
yeah. Get my shit mixed up.
Yeah, he was in Sleep.
Not big into stoner rock or stoner metal.
I like it, but I got to be in the mood for it. Which is weird because no, I don't. That's weird because I don't smoke pot. I don't do drugs.
Yeah.
But I love stoner metal.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
No.
Okay.
You were a stoner at one point.
Yeah, 100 years ago.
Speaking of 100 years ago, the Dixie Chicks. Anyway.
So
Dude, seeing Children of Bottom.
I saw
Aaron
In Flames.
Lewis and
I saw In Flames, and they were awesome. I was like, wow, okay, so live really kind of punctuates it for me.
That's what solidified them in terms of you giving them a listen. I find that happens a lot, especially with bands. I'm like, I kind of heard of them, but then you see a live performance, you're like, oh, shit. It can make or break a band for me.
Me too.
Because I've seen some bands and been like, not checking this fucking band out. Like when you like maybe hear a song or two by them and you're like, this is okay, and then you see them live and it's like, oh, that was studio magic.
Yeah. These people are horrible, but yeah, and they progressed some. The 3 albums I gave you were kind of a chunk in the middle of their discography where they were starting to progress from the more melodic death metal to where they're at now. They're still metal, and I still listen to them. I still like them a lot. Unfortunately, I have not been able to see them again since then, and that's been many years ago. But I really look forward to seeing them sometime soon. But yeah, they're so aggressive, and they're just, I'm like in love with European metal, Scandinavian metal, and I think that you hit the nail on the head earlier when you said these bands showed up after American metal had just kind of gone in the toilet. Because American metal was dead. It was all about your Limp Bizkits and your Disturbs and your Stains and your Corns and your Beefs and Potatoes and your Kid Rocks. And
was there actually a name called Beefs? Sounds like a Les
cool.
Claypool project. Yeah.
American
got your
metal
corn and your Stains.
Yeah.
You can put it together.
Yeah. Oh, we'll end on in the video. Remind me to discuss about. Speaking of Stained and Aaron Lewis, that video that I hope you watched, that I sent you, the review of his new song, Aaron Lewis's.
Oh, I didn't watch it yet. I'm sorry.
Okay, we'll discuss it next week.
Okay.
I
forgot I had homework because we had so much homework.
Well, that wasn't like that was more for just like
funsies.
Yeah, but the guy that did the thing, I know I'm jumping ahead. Todd in the Shadows. I've called him out before. I'm gonna tag him in this one. Todd in the Shadows. It has a great YouTube channel. But anyway. Getting off topic.
Good.
But I love In Flames, and yeah, they're one of the bands that were an answer to America once again ruining good music. I mean, I'm sorry, but we were on a roll in the '80s, and then we kind of dropped the ball in the aughts, the 2000s with and even now, I mean, you still have like what I call like Chad metal or. Like Five Finger Death Punch, and then there's like Godsmack and Aaron Lewis. He keeps popping up, which is weird.
Is Stained metal?
They were considered new metal.
Really?
Yes.
But they're...
I know.
Because I think of like quintessential new metal bands as like System of a Down and Korn, and not that you have to like them, but I think that was the genre-defining bands, right?
Stained got pushed into that. So, yeah, unfortunately, they were, when they started comparing them to Alice in Chains, I wanted to go burn somebody's house down. I'm like, no.
Call up mayhem. We got to burn some churches.
But, yeah, I mean, even Creed was actually considered, and yeah.
What?
Yeah. Oh, here's a new hard rockin' tune from Creed. No, I think you said whatever wrong because it ain't Creed.
Yeah.
But it was.
What was the lead in that guy? The lead of that band's name?
Scott Stapp.
Scott Stapp. Something about being 6 inches but wanting a foot long. From Subway. I just picture him as being fat now. They all get fat.
Yeah. I had a Subway joke in there somewhere, but I don't know. Because Jared Fogle got the spokesman for Subway, the fat guy. And then he went to prison because he likes little kids.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
That's what I heard.
Apparently there's a big worry that there's a move to normalize pedophilia in our society. And that's not great.
That's yeah.
It's not so good.
Yeah. That's not really a
The people are like, it's an illness. We need to treat it with compassion. Maybe we treat the kids with compassion first.
Yeah.
Maybe we start
Maybe we should
there.
be concerned with the mental illness they're going to have for the rest of their lives.
And most abusers were abusees.
Yeah.
So I get the concern, but let's protect the children first. Not these creepy.
Yeah. I mean, alcoholism is a disease, so if I go wreck my car drunk, can you give me compassion and not give me a DUI because I have a disease?
I'll carry you home.
I say wreck my car like I have one.
Yeah.
But anyway, we got way off.
You say drinking problem like you don't have one. Just kidding. Should we do favorite songs?
Yes. I'll let you go first. Well,
of course I'm going first because... So,
you're selfish.
Not to give too much away, but I really wanted to scoop this one up because it is my favorite song. I'm going to add it to the secret playlist before, and I'm going to subsequently release as we start catching up onto the main playlist because I compile it into the secret playlist so I can listen to it without revealing it too many episodes away for the audience. That's
pretty smart.
We've got a lot on the playlist.
Yeah. It's just we got to get these videos.
But anyway, so I'm going to add to secret LSD Metaphor.
Oh.
Yes. Had to take it. I wanted to. Here's the thing. All right, I'll just give it away. This was my favorite album of In Flames that I listened to. Just kind of going off of what I had said earlier. And Metaphor is what really did it. Because this is like not even just like the song I liked most. This was a song that I immediately gravitated to, and I put it on my liked playlist. I was like, this is a, like, outside of just liking a band, this is a great song.
It's an amazing song.
Yeah, super cool. I love the instrumentation, like the use of the violins, how he kind of sings in that sort of like gritty melancholy kind of like almost kind of slightly skipping out of tune in the chorus, but it's still sounding really good. That was incredible. And just the message, the meaning behind the lyrics, like you can kind of, upon multiple listens, I was getting more and more and more. It's just like, Jesus Christ. Especially if he wasn't necessarily speaking or writing English at the time. Jesus Christ.
I know. I mean, it's
very Swedish.
Very.
Were you going to pick it?
That's actually my favorite song on this album.
Yes.
It's actually one of my favorite In Flames songs of all time.
It's a great fucking song.
It is. So my second favorite song on this album is Cloud Connected.
Okay, cool. So still have a chance to get my
I didn't know which version of this album was going to be on Spotify.
It is
just
Reroute to Remain.
Okay, because there's
14 songs of conscious insanity.
There's a bonus track on some of the versions where they cover Genesis's Land of Confusion.
Not on this one.
Yeah, well, I'm glad it's a bonus track and not part of the album. If you ever find it, just listen to it. It's interesting.
I think that may have happened on another album I was listening to, but I think it was a kind of a bonus track, but it was cool.
Yeah,
because it was a song of a song.
Yeah,
it wasn't like somebody else's song.
Yeah,
So yeah, especially with an album this tight and clearly containing a thematic narrative message. Like, please don't fuck it up by including other people's music.
And it was more or less like a reissue of the album or like an iTunes bonus,
Sure.
Like, so.
Hey, bye. buy this and get
this. Yeah, but it's a cool rendition of the Genesis tune. I know. I think it was Disturbed that covered that song, and it's absolutely horrible when they do it. Because,
Metaphor?
No. The Land of Confusion. We
so In Flames covered it, but also Disturbed covered.
Yeah, it's a Genesis song. No, Metaphor. Nobody better touch that song because it's just everything about it, and it's just when you hit it,
like the drum hits in the core, like the instrumentation with the violins. Like, god damn, it's a cool fucking song, and it's cool because you sort of see how they're kind of prog adjacent, and I definitely wouldn't call them prog metal by any means, but just like the fact that they have this kind of writing ability within a band that primarily does this other thing is so fucking cool. Because a lot of bands do just have one thing they do.
Yeah.
And that's all they ever sound like, and they don't really get off that brand. And I think it's sad because a lot of times bands kind of unintentionally work themselves into boxes with a sound, and it's like, oh, we've tried something different one time and our fans fucking suck.
I don't know how to progress with us.
Yeah, and that's always unfortunate. So, but this was such a cool song.
Awesome.
And we did what was Cloud Connected. Yeah. So I already added that to the secret playlist.
Okay.
Shall we move on?
Yes.
Just to come back. Anyway, my artist band for you this episode is none other than the great Sturgill Simpson.
I didn't listen to any of his albums. I wouldn't listen to
Good
something
start.
else I wanted to instead.
I thought you said Chad Kroeger, so I just listened to a bunch of Nickelback. So this is the first album I pitched you. 2000, was it 2015? No, it's 2013. I thought it was 2012. Nope, 2013. And I fucked up. High Top Mountain. Very country album.
Very country.
But here's what I like about it. Very much different than a lot of the country music coming out in 2013.
Oh, definitely. It's more like
yeah.
country music that came out in like 83 or 73.
Yeah, and that's sort of like what I was saying about the In Flames album being a nice counter sound to what was going on in America at the same time. This is within America, but this is a cool counterbalance to a lot of what popular country music was becoming. And they actually do kind of mention that in the album a little bit. So I'm gonna let you take it away, and then I'll do some talking, but you tell us what you think.
I hated it. No, I'm kidding. I really liked it, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising.
Yeah, I really did like it. It was...
Favorite album of all time?
No. Have you heard the new Aaron Lewis song?
Dude,
get out of town.
Yeah.
No, actually, it was very good. It was... it kind of ebbed and flowed in subject matter, but it worked. The only thing I will say about this album is it had a lot of songs on it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's long too. It's like over an hour.
I mean, there was like so many songs on this album.
Oh, it's not that.
It's not long. It's just a lot of songs. So it's like just.
Yeah, it's kind of like almost a the song lengths are a little shorter, and so it's almost like a punk album. You know, it's like 40 minutes of music, but it's like 20 songs.
But yeah, and just like changing like emotions. Sometimes you have to like shift gears pretty quick.
I would say it's more of a classical style of album where it's not that song order isn't important, but it's more structured around the singles and sort of laid out in a way that doesn't necessarily have to maintain narrative fashion. It's not like a cohesive book from front to back. It's more of like kind of an anthology of sort of cherry picking themes and scattering them just kind of not whimsically, but just not necessarily being constrained to the order. Yeah.
Just kind of there. Yeah. I had a little trouble picking my favorite song.
Okay. That's good news, I think. Maybe.
I mean, I fell asleep halfway through. No, because I would listen to a song and go, well, this is probably going to be the one that I'm going to like the most. And then another one would come up a few songs later, and I'd go, well, actually, this one's pretty good.
Yeah.
This one kind of
And
stands out.
that kind of happens with him with lyrics
Mm-hmm.
because you kind of listen to it like they're all catchy. Like they're all you're like, yeah, I like this. This is, good song. And then you listen to the lyrics and you're like, oh, okay. It's a level deeper.
Mm-hmm.
And then another, and then another.
And yeah. So, and I read a little bit about his history. It's very interesting. Little bit of history. He is kind of what he says he is. He's just from Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was interesting that his dad was a police officer.
Yep.
And with all the
and he, for much like until later in life, he was like a steady job at a railroad. It seems like a very stressful job. Like he was talking about it on Joe Rogan about how he had a mattress in his office. It had something to do with like sort of like almost being a supervisor of the train yard is the way he kind of described the job. Long hours. And then at one point his wife was like, you pretty good at this music thing. I think you should give it a shot.
Mm-hmm.
And so, much like John Cougar Mellencamp found success in music and fame later in life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, very interesting.
Yeah.
Especially with more modern country popularity. It seems like these guys kind of spring up in like their early mid-20s when they have a fresh face and a catchy tune about Daisy Dukes and truck beds and
drinking out in the farmhouse and whatever this modern country is, which I don't like it. Trish loves that modern pop country.
Yeah, and it can be okay here's the thing about music is I don't always want to turn my brain off.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes so Sam and I watched this show Survivor. We went back through most of the catalog. I didn't tune in for every season she was watching, but I'd catch her on the one she was like, this is a really good one. It's a show. I turn my brain off, and it's enjoyable. I don't have to analyze it as this great masterpiece. And I can do that with a lot of country songs, but at some point, I don't want to do. I want something in that sound that has substance.
Yeah.
And the line between modern country production and modern hip hop production has never been more blurred.
Yeah.
I mean, it is so goddamn close.
It is.
I was not to give too much away, but I was in the proximity of a guy for an extended period of time. That sounds super gay. Where he was listening to country songs, and then a couple songs came on, and I was like, "There's not even fucking guitar."
Yeah.
Maybe a sampled one that's been processed to shit.
It's
but
like looped drum beats
and looped guitar.
Yeah.
I was just like, this is fucking ridiculous. So. I talk a lot. God damn.
It's been a few weeks. So,
Of me talking.
I had to pick through, and like I said, there's a lot of good songs on this album. I finally kind of narrowed it down, only because I kind of got the message behind this song, and we kind of just touched on it earlier. I like "You Can Have the Crown." That's probably my favorite song right now off this album.
If you didn't pick it, I would have. So that's cool.
Mm-hmm. But it was from a lot of whittling through. But this is a tight record. It does have a lot of songs on it, but I like this guy's style, especially on this record. And we'll get to the other ones later, like way later, like years from now. We'll talk about the other two.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All this filler. We haven't talked in a while. It's going to be a long episode. But yeah, I'm really glad you like that song.
Okay.
As you sort of listen to it lyrically, it makes more and more sense, and it's interesting because it's so self-referential while at the same time kind of touching on what we're talking about in terms of modern music and I guess like modern existentialism. Like how you find your place in this world is very interesting, especially coming off of a country album, more reminiscent of, as you say, a 70s or 80s country album where it was mainly like, this is going to tie into my favorite song off this album, but where it was about outlaws and being on the trail. So you can guess my favorite album. Life Ain't Fair in the World Is Me.
Which, by the way, that was probably the best song to open this record with.
Yeah,
that was one of immediately when that's the first song I heard. Obviously, I'm like, wow, is this how this is going to be? But yeah, that's a great album opener. So yeah,
I'm really glad you liked You Can Have the Crown. That I think that's actually probably still his most popular song. He gets deep though.
He does.
It's cool because he can touch on shallow subject matter and be real deep about it. He can touch on deep subject matter, be real deep about it. But he can also do the opposite. He can take really deep subject matter and kind of just touch on it in a pretty shallow manner, you know, just like there's a song off of the next album that I pitched, spoiler alert, but Long White Line.
Yeah.
Very, very deep subject matter, but just kind of like casual in the terms of the lyrics. Obviously, it requires a lot of reading in between the lines.
Yeah.
But super cool.
And I do sit down when I'm listening to these. I can read the lyrics while I'm going through them.
That's super helpful.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Especially with a lyrical master such as Sturgill Simpson. So shout out. I'm really glad you liked the first album because I think that is good news for the following albums. Fingers crossed.
could be. Before we jump into In Flames.
Who?
In Flames, the next album.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Before we jump into In Flames.
I've been listening to Out Dames. Sorry. Weird how their album is also Reroute to Remain.
I need to change my diaper.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll keep the peeps entertained. How long are you gonna take?
I don't know.
Okay. I mean, do you got a shit? Oh.
I was gonna stop everything for a second.
No. We're good. Sure. So yeah, I'll tell them. I'll regale stories from the Wisconsin lands. What are you doing? Dude, get the fuck out of here. I'm talking about golf. So for those of you who don't like golf, Jonathan should only be about 5 or 6 minutes to pee, depending on how his prostate's flaring up today. Turns out PBR is not good for your prostate. I don't know if you guys knew this, but yeah. So while we were in Wisconsin, I got a chance to play at my father-in-law's golf club twice, and that was a real fun experience. Shout out, Ray. And my brother-in-law joined us. That was a lot of fun. And I've never played a golf course that great. I mean, it's unreal. I came back to Savannah and almost did not want to play. It was so good. The greens were such immaculate shape. They were lightning fast. I've never played on greens that fast. It was, really hard to lose a ball because all the holes are really tight, and there's obviously rough between the holes and like some trees, but it's like pine trees and they're spread out. It's not like this thick shit down here. Don't have to worry about gators. Don't have to worry about knife fights, which is always good. And very, very low, close the door. Very low cases of AIDS in Wisconsin. I'm regaling times of a better life.
Go ahead, let me answer this.
Oh my God. All right. More tales from the Wisconsin trip. Sam and I went to a state park called Devil's Lake. It was very fun. So in Wisconsin, they don't have like mountains. They have hills, but they also have these places where the glaciers came in, I don't know, like 500 years ago or something, and they carved out these sort of like quasi-hill mountain, quasi-valley, not valleys. And it's really fun. It's like you basically climb straight up. They've laid out these rocks into staircases. And trying to climb those post-COVID was real fun. But then you get to the top and it flattens out and it's real pretty. And we saw hawks. We saw a lot of kids. That was, yeah. Children are an interesting thing. It's like, how do you teach them to grow up and not be serial killers? I wonder what the whole like nurture nature thing comes down to. I was kind of talking earlier about how do I put it? Like everybody wanting to turn things into absolutes, whereas I want to kind of have more structured conversations on what we can actually do about it and find middle ground, because I think pendulum has a tendency to sway, shout out Mark Lanigan, into two different directions and just kind of goes between these polar opposites. And I don't know. Like one of the examples that I have now is that for a long time, going to therapy and being in treatment was really stigmatized. And now it's like it's shifted in the complete opposite direction where people who I'm meeting for the first time are telling me about their sessions in therapy that day. And I think we just need to find some middle ground where it's not like, yeah, I don't think you should be stigmatized for getting help, but also, hey man, we just met. I don't need to know your prescriptions.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the middle ground. I'm trying to find more middle ground. I just rambled. I don't know. I sort of just blacked out and let my tongue go, which I've gotten in trouble for recently.
Well, I'll read.
Shout out to Dirty Rig.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it later. Sorry.
Things that made me scarf.
I have to make sure my other business gets taken care
Was that Neil deGrasse Tyson?
of. Yeah, me and him.
Cool.
Yeah, he's on his way to my house.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Hope you like big black dick. He's black, right?
Do you know who Neil deGrasse Tyson
I'm
is?
sorry, I was thinking of Nelson Mandela.
No, Neil deGrasse Tyson is black.
Yeah.
About Nelson Mandela.
Yeah.
Oh, because they all look alike. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, white guy, right?
No, they're yeah.
Super pro apartheid. Anyway, watched a rugby movie on it. Anyway,
Zing! All right, let's go to the
soundtrack to your life.
soundtrack to your escape.
Kid Cudi.
What? Kid Cudi.
Kid Cudi.
Oh, God.
You like Kid Cudi? Fuck you, man. Soundtrack to Your Life's a good album.
Actually, I don't have an opinion of Kid Cudi. I was thinking of
Kid Cudi doesn't have an opinion about you.
Who was that? Kid G? That's what I got confused.
I should have never called last night. Make up and make it. That's a song for the new In Flames album. You guys want to cover some Dirt Road? It's weird because in Sweden they've never heard of a dirt road because they actually fund public works. The fuck are you talking? They're like, you mean like back when horses and carriages were a thing?
They fund all kind of stuff there, like education, healthcare.
What I really like about the Swedes is they don't necessarily think about the cheapest way to do things. They think about the most efficient way to do things, even if they are not necessarily the cheapest way. Mm-hmm. So they have this. Oddly enough, this road paving machine that you drag behind a machine that's strong enough to pull it, and it just completely lays asphalt level. Instead of having to do like multiple passages, it just moves super slow and it just paves the street. And I think we've bought some over here. I've seen some of them paving some streets over here. And it's not cheap to build, run, maintain, any of that, but it's the most efficient way to do it. So shout out to the Swedes. Volvo's a good car. My parents had two when I was born.
That's a car
they
you
sold
buy.
One for drug money.
Oh. Yeah, I bought it from him.
Yeah.
Yeah, a Volvo is a car you buy when you don't plan on buying another car ever again.
Yeah.
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 No, yeah.
It's a car you marry.
You do. Sometimes it lasts longer than some relationships.
Yeah. Don't buy it if you live on a dirt road, though.
Yeah.
Can't get that AR-15 out the window. Buddy Nicky got good aim. Come for the music, stay for the psychobabble.
Yeah. So, soundtrack to your escape. It was moving more in the direction.
I had to listen to the deluxe edition. Sorry, the Quiet Place version. Is that the wrong album?
No, that's just it has a couple of bonus tracks.
Yeah, that's what I.
Yeah,
okay,
that's the one I have. So, yeah, it has that last track, which I dare you to translate to pronounce it.
Farmland Division. That actually means something super homophobic.
Oh, really?
I have no idea.
It's in Swedish, so it doesn't matter.
It's like fucking sheep fucker.
Of the three records, this is actually my least favorite of those three.
Okay.
It's
if I had to put them, it would be like Reroute, Come Clarity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sorry. And then this one is like they could both be like tied for second, or like this one a little bit below. But I still liked it.
Yeah, I know it's a good record. It was I mean, they've done worse and they've done better. But so how did this compare to? Does this further give you In Flames enjoyment?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of would I like to hear some of these songs live? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Would I go and see the tour if it was the fucking soundtrack to your Escape tour? Not necessarily. But yeah, I had a lot of the songs. Like, it was pretty grabbing up front. I liked a lot of the first songs. There was a couple that were like, I felt were a little like rehashy and sort of just kind of confines within sounds that they'd already sort of set up.
Yeah.
So just not a whole lot. Even though it was 2 years later, I wouldn't say it wasn't a digression in terms of musical ability, but it was maybe a little bit of a stagnation. Maybe like a small dip, just because Reroute was such a good album. Like, and sometimes you can't help but not make something way better.
Right.
You know, it's sort of like, it's like making a movie. Nobody on that crew wants to make a bad movie. No musician wants to make a bad album. Sometimes it just doesn't hit. It don't hit as good.
Right. Yeah.
And that's okay.
It hit different.
It hit different when you. Oh my God, I'm such a horrible person.
You are.
And but I liked it. I liked it a lot, and a lot of the cool things with the bonus tracks got me excited. A lot more use of, I would say, sort of, especially at the time and place in Europe, a lot more like sort of European electronica techno elements, which is cool.
Yeah.
Also goes into some of the bonus tracks kind of things.
Well, they're not afraid to intermingle that stuff into their heavy metal.
Right.
Like, there's no stigma like we would have in the States, and we'll even call out a band when they start getting off kilter, but like with electronica or whatever. But over there, they're like, no, we're gonna do this. I mean,
Yeah.
So
I mean, a good example of that's Rammstein. And it's like, for me, it's like, if it sounds good, it sounds good.
yeah, if
I
it
don't
works,
care.
it works.
A lot of people are, especially like the metal purist in the community are like, oh, shouldn't use pedals.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck it, if it sounds good. I understand your complaint with somebody like Kirk Hammett using a wah pedal legitimately every time he solos.
Yeah,
that's a genuine complaint.
It's too much.
But in terms, take Gojira. You guys want to fuck around with some pedals? Shit, if it sounds good. They're European too, but
They're French?
I feel like, yeah. I feel like a lot of people can be pretty harsh in this genre, like fans of this genre. They can be pretty narrow-minded. That's what I like a lot about a lot of the goth metal bands you showed me. It's like Pain, like these synthesizers. You can fuck.
Yeah,
like, that's cool.
But it just adds to it. I mean, it just gives it that feel. Yeah. So your favorite song off this record?
God, if you want to dive right into it,
Oh,
My Sweet Shadow.
Oh, very good.
And one of the big reasons is because of the My Sweet Shadow remix, which was
I don't have that on here on mine.
It's much more. It's the same instrument or the same arrangement layout, but it's more techno driven, which is really cool. So I would definitely recommend listening to that if you can.
I will look for it, because my favorite song on this album is The Quiet Place.
Yeah, it was going to be my second.
And this version that I have comes with a remix of that song, The Quiet Place.
I don't have that, so.
But you don't have the remix. But yeah, this track 2. I like Friend or Fiend, depending on how you look at how it's written.
I see what they did there.
Pretty good for a guy who this is not his native language.
I mean, yeah.
But yeah, you're kind of hit it on the head.
Well, you did Quiet Place, right? Not Fiend.
Yeah, I'm The Quiet Place.
Yeah, okay. Just double checking.
Yeah, where it starts off really, really good, and you kind of feel like towards the end of the album you've already kind of treaded on this ground. So I get what you're talking about. It's not a bad album by any means.
No.
But yeah, you're right. It's just like
fucking no Stain's first record, but it's okay.
I cannot wait for you to watch that review of
I'm excited
because his new song is literally got to be one of the most redneck, racist tirades.
Really?
Yes.
Ooh.
He is literally complaining about them tearing down Confederate statues. This is a guy from Vermont.
you guys remember how I was talking about finding middle ground? Here we go. Here's what I'll say about the Confederacy. No, I think here's my problem with it. I do not like the memorialization of these things in terms of this is not something we should be remembering fondly.
Right.
And here's a misconception that I had for years and years and years. I thought that these memorials were built like right after the Civil War. A lot of these were built at the height of Jim Crow as these sort of structural pillars of reinforcing segregation.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know that. So, but I don't think that we should wash these away and leave them to the dust. I read a quote earlier. I actually have the book. I can go read the quote if you think it'd be beneficial. But it was sort of like
Mein Kampf.
Yeah, fucking 500th subscriber giving away a copy.
Signed.
My new book, Hitler Art Ain't So Bad, by Brendan Mitchell. I think that we need to keep a place for these things in reference to how horrible they are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, imagine if they took the like Omaha Beach,
Yeah.
and didn't have a memorial to how horrible that day was.
Right.
Or, like, we need to remember these things, regardless of their horror, so that we can remember and we can call it out if it starts flashing up again. Like,
Yeah.
it's a big, like, if in a specific country the sales of Mein Kampf start rising, we can be like, oh,
Okay.
this is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't mean that the book shouldn't be unavailable, but it means that
you
like
have the right to read it.
you need to keep an eye on that.
Mm-hmm.
History doesn't serve. This is. I really want to get that quote actually.
Go ahead.
Very.
I'm gonna sit here and whistle Dixie. I had to make noise because I noticed on some of our earlier episodes on just the audio platform, like one of us will get up and go
Dead
do
zones,
something,
yeah.
and then it'll be so quiet.
Well, that's why I
It's
talked through the whole thing when you
Yeah,
went to go shit.
I had to make pee-pees, and then I had to go take care of work stuff. A client.
What?
Well, I don't want to
You
give
don't
away what I
have
do.
clients.
And everybody be trying to get in
Sex
them.
work has been destigmatized, my friend. This was a really
Yeah,
good
for
quote.
humans.
History. This is where reading things on a computer is helpful because you have Command F function.
Uh-huh.
So this book is called The Art of Teaching People What to Fear.
Mm-hmm.
It's about Machiavelli,
Mm-hmm.
who wrote The Prince, which people have like essentially his opposition. You know, they started using his name as a pejorative
Mm-hmm.
term
Mm-hmm.
because it seems really cruel and stuff. But there's a lot. It's like sort of this fragmented, this schism of like who this person, what was he actually writing this book about, and this is sort of applying Machiavellian principles to modern times, which is really interesting. To articulate the past historically does not mean to recognize it the way it really was. It means to seize hold of a memory as it flashes up at a moment of danger. It's very important. Like, it's important to preserve these things, even if to not glorify them, but to keep them as reminders of, let's say we have something horrible happen. We have some time away from it and there's still like some form of oppression going on. And then we start building monuments to commiserate this oppression and to solidify it. You need to be aware of that.
Yeah.
And if younger generations aren't, that's a problem.
Yeah, they need to know. I mean, we need to keep teaching things like the Civil War in school. We need to teach slavery. You know, we need to teach those things. But go to Germany. Do you see any statues of any of the Nazi officers and quote war heroes?
No. And a lot of that is because of how they handled things after the fact, the government. And that's fine. I understand not wanting to memorialize that. And it's a tricky issue. It's not something we're going to solve today.
No.
Here's what I'll say about Hitler's art. Here's what I will say about experiencing something similar. When I was in grammar school, we were taught about the New England colonies and their cooperation with natives. And that narrative was left there. Like they had fish, and they taught them to put the fish in the corn so that the stalks grow taller and stronger. And they all sat down at a table, and nobody gave anybody smallpox, right?
It was all nice and friendly.
In high school, I learned about the Trail of Tears and how horrible that was, and what a stain on American history that is. And in a lot of ways, just as bad as the Holocaust. I mean, this was an intentional effort to not only relocate, but at the same time commit genocide, if so be it. Like, nobody gave a fuck if they're there are dead bodies lining the trail from Appalachia to Oklahoma. I mean, this is a concerted effort where nobody gave a shit if these people died or not. And, you know, obviously later in Germany, this plan was more mechanized and designed for death. But no, you know, there was no regard for human life in this either.
Yeah.
And that's something we need to remember.
Yeah.
And that's something that we need to teach kids. And that's something that needs to live on, if only to recognize it later.
Yeah.
Why are we talking about this?
I have no idea.
I'm sorry. Charlottesville wasn't as bad as people were trying to make it. Those guys were just trying to give the Tiki Torch brand a platform.
Okay.
Here's why Charlottesville wasn't that bad.
So anyway,
Sorry.
Sturgill Simpson,
Oh, yeah.
second record. Go ahead and
Talking about white supremacy. Anyway. What?
his second record, I Love Hitler. No, I'm just kidding. I'm getting Sturgill.
Welcome to Metamodern Sounds and Country Music.
You know where he got that title from? It's a play on a Ray Charles album title.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I know more about your boy than you do.
You know more about that? Yeah, for sure.
It was a complimentary
Yeah.
thing. It was more of a homage, if you will.
Yeah.
Or a homage.
If you name this album James Brown Plays His Hits. Actually, I have a bit about that. Like, I'm working on a comedy album, and I had like a couple names, and then the last one is Stevie Wonder Sings His Hits. I just think that'd be a great
Name it
name.
Led Zeppelin 4.
Yeah, right. Taken. What was the Ray Charles album?
I think it was called Modern Sounds and Country Music or something like that. Yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because maybe Ray
Are we
Charles...
talking about the same...
Yeah, Ray Charles did some country records. You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah. He did. Back then, it was okay.
For what?
People of color to make country music.
They still can.
Modern Sounds in Country and Western Music by Ray Charles.
Interesting.
Yep, there it is. There's his record. Yeah.
That's not Ray Charles. That's Jamie Foxx. I got a woman way over town.
Eeny hootie.
Can we talk about how talented Jamie Foxx is for a second?
No.
Fair enough. Tell me about your experience with this record, 2014 Metamodern Sounds and Country Music.
I didn't like it as much as the first album.
Really?
This kind of got a little long in the tooth.
Okay.
I mean, it's still good. I'm not knocking the album. It kind of had the same problem as that second In Flames record. It was just, it kind of felt like we were just kind of beating this horse long after he was dead. It's probably a horrible analogy, but yeah, I mean, it was still good. It just wasn't as fresh as the first record. Of course, it's the second record. Sophomore slump sometimes happens. I did enjoy it, and actually, you kind of got me, because my favorite song on this album is actually "Long White Line." So
cool. I'll put it down. Great song, right?
It's really cool, and it was really cool, and I mean, and there were a lot of good songs on this album, but I kept feeling like we were just kind of covering the same ground, just at a different angle sometimes.
Okay.
But I mean, I'm not knocking it. I enjoyed listening to it. I didn't enjoy it as much
That's fair.
as the first record.
And this is actually my favorite record by him. I obvious shift in terms of production, and as you say, maybe still sort of in the same kind of songwriting vein. But I just loved the intro. I loved how this was so much more of a contrast to what was going on in popular country at the time. Regardless, because he's really updating how he wants this sound to come across.
Yeah.
And I mean, it is called Metamodern sound in country music. So he's really putting a big shift on the sound in country music. And that's what I really liked about it. My experience with it is I found this record first. So, and then obviously backtracked to High Top Mountain.
Now, that's the thing. If I'd heard this one first, my opinion would probably be a little bit more positive. But
that can happen sometimes for sure.
Yeah.
Sort of like my experience with In Flames is the first record was just sort of sets the tone. It's like sometimes when you hear the remake of a song and then the original is just never quite as good. It can happen both ways. You know, sometimes the first thing you hear you just gravitate to just sort of naturally. But yeah, I really like this song, and the first song I'm gonna pick is "Living the Dream."
That was another one that I really liked a lot.
Just sort of like a really cool take on, again, sort of like, honestly, it's sort of one of the more like deep subject matter things kind of expressed shallowly. But I thought that was like really cool. It's really funny, you know, like one of my favorite lines is the scene is he's in a diner and it's set up like staring at a puddle of mud in my spoon. Forget the next line, but hoping them circles on the paper don't call back telling me to start today. It's all about how to dodge work, and if you aren't living the dream, which is essentially doing nothing, then there's no point in getting out of bed.
Right.
It's a great song, like, you know, pretty shallow subject matter, or sorry, pretty deep subject matter, tackled pretty shallowly, but fun.
Yeah.
And that's why I liked it. And I think the thing I like most about this album is the transition into the latter albums is so much more clear. And like how he progresses and adapts his sound with the times and becoming more skilled.
Yeah.
I'll say this, in stark contrast to Dave Mustaine, Sturgill Simpson is always very compassionate and understanding of when his band members leave his band and doesn't try to shit on them, and almost
imagine that
sort of quasi writes them a letter of recommendation for further musical pursuits.
Imagine that.
He's kind of a nice guy.
Imagine being a decent human being towards other human beings who probably helped you further your career with their talent. I'm talking to you, Dave.
Hashtag Mustaine never done nothing wrong in his whole life. By golly.
All right. Let's get to the last of the In Flames trilogy I gave you. Come Clarity. What?
You said clarity. Go ahead.
This is my second favorite, almost favorite of those three.
Cool album artwork, by the way.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think it was based around the original title of this album was going to be Crawl Through Knives, which is another song. And then they changed it to Come Clarity for whatever reason.
Which was going to be, Crawl Through Knives was going to be my second pick if it was my favorite album. It's a great song.
Yeah. But we're jumping ahead.
Sorry. Can I just say Your Bedtime Story is Scaring Everyone is a really great song name?
It's a weird song to end on, and it's good that it's at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the title all along. Like
it wouldn't really fit anywhere else in the album if it wasn't last.
Yeah.
Kind of like an epilogue, just like a bookend,
That's pretty much what it was. Yeah. But I think this one was kind of a hump back up from like,
This song was this album was kind of a humpback whale from Soundtrack to Your Escape.
Yeah, it was a humpback whale right before we got him extinct.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Pinocchio. Anyway,
thank you, Star Trek 5, for bringing him back.
I remember them. I actually watched. That's the one
Star
Trek movie that I've watched outside of the newer ones. But anyway,
opinions, thoughts.
I liked it a lot. It was a good album to close on. It kind of brought me back up from Soundtrack to Your Escape. The one criticism that I do have of this band is that the bulk of their material is all kind of the same. Now they have these shining moments of showing that they can do other things, but a lot of they definitely have a brand, they definitely have a sound, and it's unfortunate that they don't play around with that more. Obviously very technically skilled musicians, obviously very skilled songwriting, arrangement, composition, checks all boxes, but in terms of repetitiveness, also kind of check that box, I would say.
And based on these 3 albums, your statement is correct. Fortunately, they have progressed since that. But I don't...
Yeah, because all these albums are like 2 years apart. So these are...
I don't want you dipping your toe too deep yet. But
Get my dick wet.
They do...
So Used and Abused is a live album, right?
Yeah.
So essentially... It goes Reroute, Soundtrack, Come Clear. Like, those are consecutive albums. That makes a lot of sense, that the sound didn't progress all that much in that time.
But
I would actually wager that the bulk of this material between the 3 albums was all probably written at the same time.
Probably so.
Like, something like Come Clarity was probably written at the same time as Dawn of a New Day, and then it just happens to... in terms of like how you structure albums, one's left, maybe it becomes a B-side, or you use it for another album, like kind of thing. So that makes a lot of sense.
But they started, and this is like...
And now they make country music.
They do. They're actually, the lead singer, Anders Frieden, he's a country artist now, and he's got this amazing song about how angry he is at liberals and how angry he is about tearing down the statues.
They've since changed their names to the Chixie Dicks.
He's changed his name to Baron Stewis.
Baron von Racist. He doesn't understand why that's more problematic.
Yeah. He's like, I'm Swedish. I don't know what that means.
Yeah. You know, speaking of Swedes, there's this... I think it's pretty...
That's racist. I'm just kidding.
Speaking of people who are ultimately suicidal all the time, so there's this. I think people would probably be pretty familiar with this. It's a later Simpsons episode, but they're, I don't know, like basically surrounded in this like office building with a Swedish guy is the setup. I don't know the episode. I've just seen the scene, and the way the cops are going to get them out is by blaring music at them as a form of psychological warfare. And this is, happened at Waco. It did it in Iraq and Afghanistan. And they play, Judas Priest is playing a song, and they refer to it as death metal, and the Swedish guy is dancing to it, and they're like, "You like this?" And he's like, "We're Swedish, we love death." But it's like it's Judas. It's just very weird. Like, it's almost like they didn't have a technical advisor. On music or something.
They just assumed all metal was death metal.
Yeah, I guess it's like my fucking dad. Jesus, we played that show with Hall of the Elders, and he kept calling them Viking death metal, and I was like, they're fucking crabcore.
Yeah, they're crabcore.
It's like metal. Yeah, ish, but they're not Viking death metal. I kept telling him to stop. I was like, please stop saying that.
Dad, do you even metal, bro?
Yeah, he does not.
Obviously.
Big Stained fan. On the city line,
I'm on the outside. I hate all people but white conservatives.
I'm on the outside looking at your 12-year-old daughter.
Favorite song of Come Clarity.
Come Clarity.
The
Title
song?
track, yeah, man.
Awesome.
Because it's very different. It's sort of in that metaphor vein.
Mm-hmm.
There's movements in the song clearly, but the acoustic start and then the transition into the more of like typical kind of In Flames sound, very cool. And there really, I wouldn't say there was a standout song on this record like a metaphor. And Come Clarity is more like, Dawn of a New Day, you know, where it's like kind of shifts in the sound a little bit, but kind of gets back to it. So that's, and then obviously I said earlier, Crawl Through Knives is a close second, but Come Clarity just, I think title tracks are important because they mean something and there's a reason they did it. It wasn't just, it wasn't like a Stained album where you just name it after the most popular song.
Right.
Shitheads. No, we've shit on him so much, but he just keeps giving us reason to.
He does. And after you watch that video review of his song and hear about this song, you are going to be just jazzed up.
Should I listen to the song and then listen to the review?
I would just listen to I'd never listened to the song, and it's fairly new.
Sorry, on policy, I'm going to have to listen to the song first.
That's fine.
And then listen to the review.
That's fine.
Because I feel like this is part of the problem with those goddamn liberals.
But
I want to give him his honest day in court for his pedophilia charges, and we'll go from there.
Alleged. we can listen to it on the way home.
We got other shit to listen to.
Yes, we do.
We got catching up to
Yes, we do. But yeah,
I can't wait for that album.
The guy that did the
fucking drop.
review, and you'll see, the guy that does the review, he's not, if you look at his channel, he reviews all kind of stuff, and he's not just like, oh, I hate this guy and pointing a finger. I mean, he really...
just not clickbaity shit.
No, it's not. This guy, I have a lot of respect for this guy's channel. He's got a lot of cool videos. But anyway, he doesn't attack Aaron Lewis. He doesn't attack the song. He actually breaks the song down and gives his honest opinion, which, I was like, I agree with you. This Aaron Lewis is an idiot, and he's a racist.
A racist idiot, if you will.
Yes.
So the thing, I was like, it was so funny because it was starting to become a worn-out joke on this podcast, and then he goes and drunk performs his song twice.
Yeah, so
and receives zero backlash from his fans because they're also drunk retards.
Yes.
And
but anyway, my favorite song, me and you got them flip-flopped. My favorite song is Crawl Through Knives, and Come Clarity is actually my second favorite song.
Very cool. Wait, did I already... Shit, I'm sorry. Gotta double-check some things. Just some housekeeping, but, give the devil his due, tickle them balls, and I didn't, so now we will return to your scheduled programming. Oops. That wasn't what I was supposed to do.
Yeah, Come Clarity was one.
Yeah, I didn't do the right button order, though.
Oh.
I did something else. No. Crawl Through Knives, right? Just double checking.
Yes, sir. Crawl Through Knives. Which he actually wrote that about his daughter when she was born. Anders Frieden. So.
Okay, now I'm really sad.
Well, she's still alive.
Well, yeah, but the song makes me sad now.
And he actually, he has his own T-shirt line that looks really, really cool. And I would love to order his shirts. The only problem is they're decently priced, but the shipping costs more than the shirts because they're coming from Sweden. Yeah. And In Flames makes their own gin, which is also hard.
It's called Crawl Through Knives. Or Come Clarity. Come Clarity would be pretty.
That would be a good one. I think it's just called In Flames gin, but
that makes a lot of sense too.
Yes.
Stomach in flames. Whew, those botanicals are potent. What'd you guys use for it?
Ooh, that's a lot of juniper. What's in there?
Corpse feces.
Yeah. We went to a mayhem show. Picked
Fucking
up some
Swedes. Yeah. Nothing like seeing a suicide and immediately thinking, this would make a great photo. Yeah. Hang on. Just gotta move some things around, get the lighting right.
This is so going to be our next record album cover.
Ironic of a Swede trying to get the lighting right.
Well, they're Norwegian. Mayhem is.
Is? Oh,
yes.
I thought they were Swedes. Sorry.
Yeah. No, Swedes have some sense. Norwegians are just nuts. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Mayhem's Norwegian, but I will fact check myself.
Who was the girl with the dragon tattoo? That was Norwegian.
Mm-hmm.
Good movie.
The original or the remake?
The original. Remake gives you a good synopsis if you're just interested in the story and a lot of the big highlight moments of the original. But I mean, Daniel Craig's a good actor, and the lady who played the girl with the dragon tattoo, she's good too.
Yeah, and I heard she went all in on that role.
Oh, yeah,
like she's a total method actor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
like Jared Fogle. Jared, not Kushner.
Leto.
Yeah. So lay down. Wait, no, that's Chevelle. Fuck. What was their fucking song? The one every fucking time they play it live, he starts with the acoustic guitar, and then it's like their most fucking popular song. What's that band he's in?
30 Seconds to Mars. I don't think I've ever intentionally listened to any of their music.
You're fucking missing out, bro. You're not. 30.
30.
They're going on 30.
Seconds.
The Kill.
To Mars.
What does that even sound like? Yeah, okay. Lay down.
Oh, it sounds like everything else that came out that time period.
Bury me, bury me. That's right. Sorry. Shout out to Chevelle for making better music than 30 Seconds to Mars.
Thank you. So set us up. We got our last one. The old Sturgill Simpson.
Sound and Fury by Sturgill Simpson.
Simpson.
I told you that you could either listen to the album on just like auditorially, but there's also an anime that goes along with it, and it's sort of conceptual, not unlike that of The Wall, but also not quite like The Wall. But it was really cool hearing about, he talked about it on Joe Rogan, about the process of going to Japan and meeting with these people and getting this project going, having the album ready, and then kind of setting this up. And actually, I listened to the album the first time, just auditorially, and then found out about the music, the extended album video via Netflix, and I decided to get a little Delta 8'd out last night. I told you I'm on Delta 8 now. Yeah.
Because I'm a Delta 88.
And whoop, right back around. Thanks, Dirty Rig. And
Warrior Soul.
I know. And then
what's that band, Rick? Dirty Rig? Their new name.
I'm trying to think of a racist one for Warrior Soul. Death to North Korea. And it's just, I would say in terms of other, so I was a little hooty hoot, which that's usually the better way to absorb stuff like that, I feel like, because you're much more locked into the music and the visuals. I wouldn't say as exciting as other things that I've watched, i.e. The Wall, or I had another thing to say, but I can't remember what it was now. Anyway, it was okay though. I liked it.
I did not. I did research on the anime movie. I did not watch it only because I don't like anime, and it actually tends to give me a headache to watch anime. So,
well, then good thing you didn't watch it.
Yeah. Well, I did some. I did some research on it. You want to set this album up anymore, or are you ready?
Very dramatic shift in sound. Tell us your thoughts.
This album was all over the place.
Yeah.
I can appreciate what he was trying to do here. It's good that he went back to his other sound, which I know he put out 2 bluegrass albums since this. I didn't hate it. It was just...
It's real weird.
It was weird, and it was everywhere. It was everywhere.
Which it's kind of disjointed, and you kind of pick that up with the video as well. They try to do kind of this narrative thing with it, and maybe that's why I didn't enjoy it as much, because it does feel pretty disjointed. There's a lot of disconnect.
Yeah.
And it just sort of... I think much like High Top Mountain for me, it's like individual songs I can pick out that I like, but I don't necessarily want to listen to it in order.
And there were too many songs that sounded like other songs on the album. Like when he was changing up to different styles, they were too close to the last song he did in that style.
Sure. And a lot of what that is they used one synthesizer.
Okay.
They had they just found this particular... I think they used it for a couple of different sounds, but there is a primary preset they made with the synthesizer and used it all the way through the album for the most part as a means to sort of almost replace guitars.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of. Listening to him talk about the production on this album was really interesting, and if you're interested in that sort of thing, I would recommend that latest JRE episode he was on. Because he talks about the album, he talks about making the movie as well. It's very interesting, especially for somebody like me. But he goes into depth about figuring out the synthesizer and how it's going to be incorporated in the album. But yeah, I would definitely say it's there's a lot of repeat.
Mm-hmm. I mean, kudos to him for trying something completely off the reservation. Oh, is that racist? Completely off the...
No, keeping them on the reservation is racist.
Completely off the casino. Sorry, my Native American friends.
You don't have any Native American friends. Wait, this guy.
Oh.
I was born in America. I know it doesn't mean it, but I'm tech. You want to fucking...
You are a Native American. I am too.
You want to fucking use... You want to use correct language.
Well, I don't want to call them Indians because they're not from India. Okay, well,
actually, I think we talked about this, but some tribes prefer that.
Yeah, we did.
Nomenclature. Like, nah, we're Indians, dog. Like, all right.
But anyway, we're getting...
I think there's a couple of non-beef eaters that'll have some beef with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, we're getting way off.
That's the fucking point of the show. Anyway.
Is that it?
Pretty much.
Oh.
If it's not the point, it's
have I
definitely
been sleepwalking through the past 20 episodes?
It's definitely the modus operandum. That's for sure. So, what's your favorite song then?
It was hard to pick because there were some that were more tolerable than others. I like the beats behind "Make Art Not Friends."
Okay,
but Mercury in Retrograde was all right. But I think it was because those two kind of reminded me of each other.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like what really was setting off was the opening track as an instrumental, and but there's nothing to it. And I hate people who put an opening instrumental track and it's just something basic. It's basically like I need to tack something on the front of this record to get it started. And I thought Ronan was just really like a filler. And when your opening track is filler, you're not really going anywhere great.
Well, and his reference to literature. Ronan, especially, taking the production to Japan to make the movie. I mean, it's pretty clear lineation, but there's not a whole lot to. I mean, and Ronan's a classic sort of literary. Can't think of the word, but just to not even use any sort of references, it's just odd. But
yeah, but like I said, I didn't dislike it. It was my least favorite of those three records. Can appreciate and give him kudos, like I said, for at least doing something totally off the wall. And, maybe next time focus a little bit.
maybe next time don't.
I mean, not do it again. I mean, act a fool and do another crazy album like this. But like
I said, nobody tries to make a bad album.
No. And I'm sure he had the best of intentions. You could kind of feel it in what he was doing. It just, the finished product didn't shine like maybe it could have.
Sure.
And he seems like he's very proud of this piece of work, and I mean that complimentary.
Yeah.
So
I don't think you can put the work in that he did and not try to be proud of it.
And it's not anything to not be proud of. It just it hit different.
To quote Aaron Lewis.
Yeah. I mean, I stand it.
Yeah.
I stand.
Fucking Confederate statues hit different, dog.
Yeah, up here in
That's
Vermont.
Too quiet. I forgot. We gotta be louder when we say things for the microphones.
Yeah, well, I have a really loud voice anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
and
why
that's why it's hard
off.
with the quiet stuff. That's why it is, because when I'm trying to balance, I'm worried about not making it too loud, so then the quiet stuff does kind of get lost in translation. But what I'll say about this album is I do like that he took a real risk on this. I thought it was really cool hearing about the production, hearing about the animation side of things. Like I said, I can't recommend that episode of JRE highly enough. I like that he took a swing, and my favorite, what was your favorite song?
I said make art not friends.
Fuck, you didn't say that, but that sucks because that was mine.
Oh, yeah, I did say that.
No, you didn't.
Rewind the tape.
No, you said it, and then you said it was the same as Mercury in Retrograde, and they were just a little too
Say
similar.
that again.
Mercury and retrograde. But you didn't say that Make Art Not Friends.
Well, I'm saying
was
it
your
now,
favorite.
mister.
Okay, Make Art Not Friends your favorite. Fuck. I'm gonna do.
You can take your ball and go home.
I'm gonna do Remember to Breathe.
Okay. That one just
Super anticlimactic for you.
it just didn't feel like it was. Remember to Breathe, and I'll just call that the opening track. It didn't feel like it went anywhere exciting. It wasn't bad. It just, you got a couple of like.
Fine, I'll do sing along.
No, you whatever you want on there. You're the one who likes it. I'll just give my opinion.
You got a big old problem dick with it, so here we go. I'll fucking change it just for you there, buddy. Want to hear the story behind that? It's actually not a bad story.
Sure.
Wait, why didn't yours go on there?
I don't know.
Fine. Dick. All right. Make Art Not Friends, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I didn't add that last time. I'm going to do... Between Best Clockmaker on Mars and Sing Along.
Okay.
I'm going to do Best Clockmaker on Mars.
Okay.
I like that one a lot.
Yeah, that song's pretty good too.
We did it. We got through it. That's
Look at
3
that.
albums. No, wait, we got to do favorite songs. Shit.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Favorite songs and favorite albums.
Again, didn't we just do our favorite songs? All these favorite albums.
Yeah, but if it was your favorite album, you get to pick another one.
Oh.
Yeah.
I got you.
Remember that thing that I said?
Yeah.
So we'll go. So now we'll do the reverse. So you'd pick your favorite In Flames record, which I'm assuming is Reroute.
Of these three.
Yeah, of the 3 In Flames.
Yes, yeah, Reroute.
So what was your favorite favorite song off of that? Or like, you picked your favorite, but what would be your second pick?
Well, I can't pick my second pick because you picked it.
That was your first pick.
That was my first pick.
Yeah.
So I will pick my third pick, which I actually liked the title track, Reroute to Remain.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good opener.
It was a good opener.
I agree. So that's your pick for In Flames, your favorite album, which is interesting because this is also mine. So we get 4 songs off of this album, and I'm going to do Free Fall. No, I said that was my backup. If you dismiss the cynics, if you picked that, I was going to do Free Fall. So
because I'm free. I didn't know they did a Tom Petty song.
it's fucking the day we lost him was just the worst day I can remember. Ever. It was just so hard.
Nothing bad happened that week except for this.
So High Top Mountain was your favorite Sturgill Simpson record. Isn't that annoying? Spotify can't even get the order right.
Oh wow, yeah.
Fucking assholes.
I like Apple Music.
So that Reroute was the one we got 4 off of. So that was the big hit. So what was it? Was another one off High Top Mountain for you?
And I know this wasn't one that he wrote, but I really like Poor Rambler.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Who wrote it?
I forget, but it wasn't Sturgill. It wasn't anyone I'd heard of.
Okay.
And I'm only calling that because I think you had already picked one that I liked.
Yeah, Life is Fair and the World is Mean.
Mm-hmm.
I think
So
Fair
I like
and the
Poor
World.
Rambler. It was a fun song to listen to.
Cool.
I enjoyed it.
And my favorite album by him was Metamodern. So and I'm gonna pick It Ain't All Flowers.
Okay, that was another song that I really liked off that album. So perfect.
Added to the playlist.
Yay!
I think we're still behind on the playlist, so eventually we'll catch up, and then I'll start adding stuff from the secret playlist over. I wonder how far we got on that, so I'm gonna check that real quick because I'm a little bitch boy who likes little bitch boy things. Fuck, daddy. Actually, I think we're close because. Oh fuck! There's so many bad ones. Yeah, we're like 3 or 4 episodes a day,
Yeah.
or away.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember that Paris Hilton, Lindsay Lohan, Kim Kardashian episode. That was a fun one.
That was awesome.
Play with me,
Do you?
Dream Warriors. Got instruments of destruction.
All right.
Hey, did the thing.
We did the thing and the thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, we did drag it up pretty good.
I said something. I had something I was gonna do. We were gonna talk about. What was it?
I don't know.
Nice. We talked about the bots talking shit.
Hitler, Mussolini.
We did not mention Mussolini once.
Hitler. Kill Darky.
Jesus Christ. There's a cat at one of the businesses I frequent. I'm not going to go too much into it, but the cat's name is Blackie. And even one of the guys who works there is like, it's almost problematic. And I was like, yeah, lucky you didn't name it Darky.
Yeah, Darky.
I had something I wanted to talk about just for good housekeeping, but we can save it. We'll save it if we didn't have it. This was how long did we go for? It's not that long. I think we've gone longer. It's a little over 2 hours.
Okay, good. Yeah.
So, talked about the headphones. Talked about
Florida.
Did talk about Florida.
Talked about.
Oh, you want to hear the story behind this?
Oh yeah.
It's not the most amazing thing in the world.
Yeah.
It's Sound and Fury level. So I went to go busk the other night just on River Street. I really like singing under the Hyatt because it's that tunnel. It's really reverberant under there. And it's cool performing and being able to hear your voice that clearly. It kind of mimics a good sound system, but in a more acoustic level. Can I have it? I collect them. If you collect them too, you can have it.
This has been in my wallet for about 9 years.
Ew. It's fucking disgusting.
It's in my wallet. It's not in my underwear.
Why does it have ass sweat on it?
Jeez.
Did you just set that on fire?
I didn't mean to drop it in there.
Did you drop it in the candle?
Yes. It just got wax on it.
What an asshole.
I didn't do it on purpose.
Doesn't make you any less of an asshole.
No, that's from the leather.
Just because you fucked up mine doesn't mean you... Just because you fucked up yours doesn't mean you have to fuck up mine.
I didn't mean to. I dropped it.
I'm not telling you the story now.
I want to hear it.
No.
Yeah, come on.
Can't build it up to the hype now.
What hype?
All right. So I was singing under the Hyatt. Nobody out there wouldn't have tipped me if they were out there. And a security guy, I was standing on the side closer to the river. And the security guard from the Hyatt came out the door. I was like, shit, here we go. And he was coming over, and I was like, I know. I was just finishing up a song. He's like, no, it's fine. He's like, I just wanted to let you know that we can. I have to tell you to move if you're over here. But he's like, if you see that fire hydrant over there, if you go stand by that, I can't tell you to move. Or if you go stand by the visitor centers, I can't tell you to move. The only people who can tell you to move are the cops, and they usually don't bother people. He was like, but there's this guy that comes and he sings in the mornings, and he's like, I always get really excited when I hear him. And he said, I really like the way you sing, so I just wanted to give you this. And he gave me a $2 bill. And I was like, I collect these. So
That's
it was
awesome.
like, I didn't feel the need to busk any longer than that. I sang a couple songs by the fire hydrant, and then I got out of there because I was like, that was fulfilling enough. That's enough. So sometimes it's just those little things that keep you going as an artist.
Yeah.
And that was one of them.
That's a nice story.
Thanks for kind of ruining that memory for me, to be honest.
It's just got wax on it.
I don't think you get to decide whether you ruin the memory for me or not. I think that's kind of my decision. Can I have my own opinions, Aaron Lewis? Thanks.
No.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. The only thing worse than cancel culture is people who just won't shut the fuck up about it.
I agree. Totally agree.
Hashtag make Stained great again.
No. Again?
Well.
Like they were great the first time?
I mean, they had that pretty good song.
It's like saying make herpes popular again.
Remember that song they had? They had a pretty good album, right? Cracked Rear View. Oh, that's right. That was Hootie and the Blowfish.
We've literally had
Hootie and the Blowfish is more nu metal than Stained.
Yes.
There, I said it.
I agree. I totally agree.
What was the band you went and saw them? And the guy he was like, "Did you fucking take my house? Are you the guy that took my house,
puddle
bro?"
of mud.
Puddle of mud. Oh man, my shoes are stained because I stepped in a puddle of mud. Anything else you want to cap up on?
No. We'll talk about the review of Aaron Lewis's awesome
We can
song.
do that in the break, and then come back and do my podcast if you want.
Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Or should we save it for?
Let's save it
next
for
week?
this.
All
Yeah,
right,
for this show.
For next week, guys, tune back in. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
Like, comment, and subscribe. We are. I'm gonna set up the Patreon this week.
I don't know why. It's got nothing to do with it yet.
Just try to get people to give us some money.
Okay.
Ooh, you don't get anything in return.
Here's something we can talk about.
Mm-hmm.
I've asked you if you will help me film a music video to go along with my album release, which will be happening within the next 5 years. Fingers crossed.
If I'm still alive.
Do you want to be in it?
Yeah, sure.
Fuck yeah. It's just going to be us two.
Awesome.
Yeah. I think it's going to be fun. I'll pitch you the sort of
Cool.
scenes I
I'll
have
help
in
you
my
film
head.
it too, if you want me. Me and Brennan starred in a music video together before. You don't remember?
What?
We were in that Lilac music video.
Oh, yeah. I had totally forgot.
Yeah.
It wasn't a real important day for me. When you live the baller lifestyle that I do, shit like that come and go, man. That was fun.
It was fun.
I watched the video once. I listened to the song more than I watched the video.
Yeah, I think I've watched the video once. When it came out, I watched it.
It's funny they included that scene where I just took the bass drum and started walking
just
out.
walked out the door.
They were just like, do whatever you want. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
They're like, just don't break anything. All right.
Yeah.
Except some hearts
Yeah.
on the internet.
Yeah, you did.
Call me the date rapist. Woo.
Yeah.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Bye, guys.
I love you, man.
Love you too.